Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talk indeed. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
I think it's a good question. You know, it's one of the things that can happen sometimes to start a season when you have staff changes. In this case, you have a quarterback change, and And look, someone with Tom's experience, certainly there's going to be plays he's comfortable with that he's run in New England. The question is just how much are we looking at, and we're going to have to adjust and be prepared for those formations that we've seen on film. I know we've looked at both sets of teams relative to the preparation and the cut-ups.
Does that put you in a position at all where you have to go in with more defensive pivots, if you will, than a normal game, or no?
No, it's not about more defense. It's just about understanding what you're getting offensively and then preparing for it accordingly. There's a handful of nuances, but I think it doesn't require additional defense. We're gonna. There's certain elements to how we want to play and play in this game, but the ability to just recognize formations and play types based on the formations would be that challenge.
Does it feel that way every season, or does it feel that way even more so this season without a preseason to base some concepts on? Yeah,
look, this is a little uniquely different. Typically in the preseason, your first game of the season, there's always going to be some changes and wrinkles that teams have, and you've got to adjust to. This is more philosophical relative to the quarterback, and so I would say this is a little different than normal.
Sean, with the practice squad rules and the ability to protect some guys, how come you guys didn't do that?
Yeah, look, a number of teams didn't. We were one of them, and we just chose to go that route. There's pros and cons. Obviously, you put a protection tag on someone, you're alerting 31 other teams maybe of a player that you might have plans for, and I think that's just one of those things where I don't know how many teams, 14 or 15, but I know we weren't the only one.
Sean, I saw that Josh Hill was listed at fullback in the depth chart this week. What does that mean for him, if anything? And does adding Troutman kind of change what you could do with Hill, with kind of having three solid tight ends now?
Yeah, look, that was more – he was actually listed as F. And so, we play with a lot of two tight ends. And, Josh plays certainly the tight end position, but he can play the F tight end position. It was just his experience in instead of just listing it as a traditional fullback, we probably play with two tight ends more than we play with a tight end and a true fullback. So I wouldn't read into any of that other than how that flip card reads.
You're right. I don't know if I misread it as fullback yesterday, but I opened it today and it said F, and I was thinking.
So look, it's a good question because the F can be Burton, the F can be Josh. It just depends on what personnel that we have in the game.
Coach, what's the update on the Ruiz going into Sunday's game?
No updates.
Sean, I feel like Levante David's been with Tampa for forever now. What sort of challenge does he present when you're kind of scheming against their defense?
Well, look, he's an exceptional player. He's got great awareness. I think he's one of those linebackers that defends the pass extremely well and the run extremely well. He can move. He's got great instincts and keen diagnose, and he's just one of those headsy players that you might get him once, but he's one of those guys that's going to be a half a step ahead if you're not changing up formations and trying to change the looks up. He's that good of a player.
And then you talked about their front seven earlier this week, but specifically the two bookends they have with Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett. What about those guys? What kind of challenges do they present? Yeah,
look, it's a tremendous front, and the numbers show it. Every day we situationally go through red zone, third down, running game. they certainly pressure the quarterback very well. Their rush patterns are difficult. They're athletic, and they present a lot of challenges.
Without having the crowds, of course, the fans for week 1 and now week 3, how do you keep the team engaged? And I know there's been conversations about it, but for the energy up for the first home games, has there been any specific preparation for that?
No, look, we've been there twice. I haven't heard any news relative to week 3, but we've been there and practiced with the exact environment we're going to have Sunday last week. And like I said before, I mean, it'll be different for everyone, and we'll get adjusted to it, and pretty soon you're playing. So, would we like to have our home crowd? I think it's one of the better, home environments there is in sport, and but that's just the way it is right now. I know it's that way for week 1. Pardon?
Mayor Cantrell said for week 3 also.
I just hadn't heard that yet, and so we'll deal with it if it's week 3 the same way. We go from there.
Sean, what's the challenge when you're going against a team that has a power running back, but they also have all these guys that can kind of spread you out and maybe lighten up the box?
Well, look, you're playing run, you're playing pass. You have to understand when you're playing one or the other, how to defend the opposite. If you're playing in a 2-deep look and you're having to defend the run, you've got to be prepared for that. And if you're playing with more down safety and you're getting the passing game, and the unique thing is the differences with the running backs. That'll be important to gauge and how they're utilizing them.
Relative to PJ, kind of the same vein as Josh Hill on offense. PJ's on the roster as a DB now and listed as a free safety on the air quote depth chart. Is that the same thing with Josh in that it's based on matchups is where he's going to be?
Yeah, he's got really good position flex. He's played nickel for us. He's played corner for us, and he's smart enough. He's one of those players that can play a lot of positions. So, again, the old traditional flip cards, always showed 4 defensive backs, 3 linebackers, and over time we're playing with so much substituted defenses that. But he's played that position in camp as well as inside and outside, and that's kind of unusual for a defensive back, but it's a good trait.
That's Coach Sean Payton chiming in on the live stream. Who that to the beautiful black and gold family members joining this edition of the Sports Coma. Who that to you and Yearn. For all of my established family members and the newcomers, who that to you and welcome to TSC Live. Well, we talk that real stuff about Saints, man. I don't think they have too many people out there that talk as real as we do about the Saints, because we keep it real. Who that to the beautiful black and gold family members in the live stream on this edition of the Sports Coma entitled Davenport Ruiz out for week 1 and more. Anyway, let's hit it. Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? Red Hot is cool. Who that to you? Red Hot is cool. Good to see you in the live stream. All of our new family members, please strike upon the subscribe button and please hit the like button upon entering the stream, family. And big ups to the beautiful black and gold family members. Brian Pearson is in the building as well. Jared Slack, who that to your family? Superstar Louisiana boy, who that to you as well? Hold'em Hook'em TV is in the building. Says, what was that DE you wanted to sign before clowning? Everson Griffin, I think his name was. Hold'em Hook'em TV, good to see you in the chat. Kenyatta Lavender, who that to you, Kenyatta, good to see you as well. William Dickerson, who that to your family, good to see you. Kai the Great, who that to you, says, despite not having Davenport and Ruiz, I still have faith in my boys to get the job done, to get that dub. Saints 100, I agree with you, bro. They should be all right, because Trey Hendrickson is healthy as well, so well, he's healthy, so he should be able to hold it up for him. Of course, you're gonna get a mixture of Hendrickson and Granderson on that other side, among other people. So let's see how they deal with the loss of Davenport for this one. Thank you for that chat, Kai. The great hook, hold up, big ups to you and Hold'em Hook'em TV as well. All right, let's keep it going here. Wallace Smith, what you say, Wallace? Who that to your family? Says, what up, Big Q? We're going to play defensive end. We need somebody. You got Trey Hendrickson. We'll go over the injury report, bro, and we'll break all that down today. Willie Bibbins III. What up, Willie? How you doing, family? Who that to you? Much love to you. Jerome is in the building. What up, Jerome? How you doing, fam? He says Hendrickson and Granderson need to show something. If they're not, we'll be trading for someone before week 8. Thank you. Irvin Alexander, who that to you as well. Best ability is availability. Very well-known saying, very true to the core, and not too many people can disparage that. Your best ability is the ability to be available. It means so much more. It does, but you know, it's just a part of it, man. This is an ugly history of trends. We'll go into it on this Friday. Saints Talk, family. Davenport and Ruiz out for week 1 and more. All right, JT, who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to you and the rest of the family members chiming in on this stream. Tro Blewett, what up, Tro? And if the rest of the family members chiming in, if you want me to give you a who that, me, and I'll who that you right back. Daryl Hatcher, I see you, Daryl. Who that to you? Much love to you and Yearn in this great Sports Coma edition as well, family. So great to see y'all. Brian says, are you going to see? He said, are we going to see you Sunday afternoon after the game's over to talk about it? Yes, sir, Brian. Yes, sir. I wouldn't have it any other way, my friend. And a matter of fact, it might be an all TSC affair because 2 hours before the game plays, we have TSC virtual tailgate. And that's like, what is that, Q? That is when we fire up the stream 2 hours before the game and talk Saint talk before the game and get you. That's right, you, my friend, and all the rest of the great Saint Think Tank family members to chime in on their predictions of the game and how they think it will go down. We'll also have the ability to show us what you cooking on, what you cooking down there on the virtual tailgate as well. So it'll be fun, man. Yeah, if you got the chicken going, the dirty rice is all gravy, man. We'll have it where we'll have the format set up where you can take it, where we can actually see you, and then you can show what you're cooking on. The rest of the family members sitting around the game, you know, and whatnot, and however you do it. So I mean, with virtual tailgate is in the building, TSC doing it the right way, man. So let's keep it rolling, bro. But appreciate that question, Brian. No doubt about it. I will be in the building. JT says, you're only as good as your reserves. We're going to see how good they are. We've been talking about this all damn off season. And I've been saying the same thing, sounding like a broken record. Hold'em Hook'em T said, put PJ and D in, and at least we aren't going to have to worry about getting hurt. Brian says, Saints 28, Tampa Bay 21. There you go. All right, so here we go. So who that to the rest of the family members, please strike upon the like button. Remember, that helps out the live stream as well, and it's free. If you're not a subscriber, please feel free to subscribe to the Great Saint Think Tank. And here we go. Now, of course, we started the broadcast off as Coach Sean Payton. The Hopeful Effect is just to subscribe. Thank you, The Hopeful Effect. Thank you, family, for subscribing. I was reading the chats when you subscribed, but The Hopeful Effect, who that to you, and welcome to the Great Saint Think Tank, the best of the black and gold, who that nation, baby. Most certainly the most passionate and intellectual and really colorful family members of the Who Dat Nation, man. So welcome to the stream. Much love to you and thank you. All right, let's keep it going here, family. Much love to the family members starting on up in here. Hopeful Effect says Davenport must have gotten injured during the preseason games. We didn't have this. He said we didn't need this. He said that we didn't have this year. Well, Davenport, unfortunately, does get hurt, the Hopeful Effect. He does. Which is why the question was asked, and I said, people just don't do anything for nothing. You know what I mean, family? You know, we're going to fire into it momentarily, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines for this, and I'm going to be with y'all guys for the summation to almost to 9 o'clock. I'm probably going to cut the stream off around about 9:40. I mean, not 9 o'clock, excuse me, around to about 8:40-ish or so. I'm going to cut it off before 9. We got a Pelican post-game report that we do every Friday. That's on the Pelican post-game report channel via YouTube. The link is in the description if you want to join us. If you're a Pelican fan, you can subscribe to that channel. We do Pelican content every week on the Pelican post-game report. That is tonight at 9 o'clock. We'll talk about Drew Holiday getting snubbed, among other topics and discussion, coaches, searches, all the latest Pelican news on the Pelican post-game report. Now, back to the Saint Talk. And back to Davenport. Davenport, on the other hand, man, has been unfortunately dealing with injuries. He got healthy. He missed several days of training camp. Remember, it was like 4 days straight. Then he came back for a couple and then missed the rest of camp. Then that explains why Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis then exploded out of the gate and pushed Alvin Kamara aside. By the way, that deal isn't done. That deal has not been done yet. Hopefully tomorrow is the day that deal gets done. Tomorrow is the day. So we've been looking for the Alvin Kamara deal. Tomorrow might very well be the day. It has to be. It has to be the day. You want that done before this stuff kicks in. You want to get that over with. So that explains why they fired off the gate and stiff-armed Davenport and pushed him aside so they can go run up and talk to Jadeveon Clowney in Houston, because they knew that they wouldn't have Davenport for this game. So they was trying to get Clowney there in enough time, but it didn't work out. But they still could have went and got somebody. But they're just one-track mind. They tunnel visioned. They could have went out and got several other excellent and talented coaches that's out there as well that you could have went and got. There are several of them out there that you could have went and found. There's Cameron Wake. There's Clay Matthews, who's healthy and who can help you. But they don't see nothing except for the most expensive commodity on the free agent market. Everson Griffin was a guy you could have got for $6 million. Dallas got him. Second-round draft pick would have got you Yannick Ngakoue. Minnesota got him, another rival. Clay Matthews is a guy that could help you while Davenport recoups. And that's what I was saying about, I keep saying it, it's so frustrating. I was saying it over and over again. He was not going to cost you that much money to have Clay Matthews. You want to be able to work Davenport in there slowly, because just as disappointed as the Who Dat Nation is about Davenport not playing, Davenport is equally, probably 3 times more devastated that he can't play in this game. Let's get that straight. So let's not wail on this young kid here. Let's not do that. I've always been a Davenport supporter. I've been a Andrews Pete supporter. And I'm not going to let people just wail on Davenport because of this. But if we knew this out the gate, we should have done a better job of providing depth to kind of incrementally move him in there. Because I'm telling you, his body's not there yet. So, man, it's just frustrating. But anyway, thank you for that, family. Thank you, Hopeful Effect, for your subscription and Who Dat to you as well. Brian says, when the Saints won the first Super Bowl, did you go to the parade and partied with your friends? No, I didn't. I had to work that time, my friend. I had to work. I should have went. I should have called in and went and went and worked. But at the time I was working, I worked on the railroad. And of course, if you know anything about railroad people, they don't believe in giving you no all time. They try to tie you to the building if they could. But no, I couldn't. But we did party with my family members when we watched the game. We partied, we had fun, but I didn't go to the parade, man. I didn't. I should have went, because hopefully we get, next time around we can get 2 more of them, you know. If Cantrell would open up the city for it, I doubt it. All right, let's keep it going. Revolt Control, Who Dat to you as well. Good to see you in the chat. Big ups to you. Kenny Sutton, I see your family. Jacob, good to see you in there. Let's see, Defuni, is that correct, Jacob? I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, my friend. But thank you for joining us. He says, is it too late to go after Clay Matthews next week? I just said that. Great minds think alike, brother Jacob. That is an excellent statement. And I, for one, believe that the Saints should. Listen, this is the most upsetting thing about this whole scenario, is the fact that you knew Davenport was hurt when they was chasing down Jadeveon Clowney. They knew that. They knew it before they went to go get Jadeveon Clowney, that he was hurt, and that is the reason why they went feverishly and ferociously after Jadeveon Clowney, was because they knew Davenport was not going to be ready. They knew it all the time. They knew it all the time. My thing is, always have a plan B, a B through Z, all the way up into the numbers, if you can help it. The Saints did not have a plan B. Their plan A was to go all out for this expensive defensive lineman who wanted the top dollar. Guess what they did? The son, you know what, decided to go with a team he was familiar with after despite adding the fact that he wanted the Saints and the Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys knew the game. The Cowboys said, listen, let's go get Griffin. Griffin can give us more than this dude can do. But the Saints didn't stop there. Hopeful Effect, thank you for your super chat, friend. Appreciate you there. Thank you, friend. Appreciate that. The crazy part about it is that they could have went and they could have made the adjustment. They could have went to get Clay Matthews, who's the best, or one of the best out there. There's still Cameron Wake out there. There is still Jabal Short, who's a good defensive end that can help you, and some other names out there that can help as well, that are out there right now. But what was the next corresponding move after the Saints didn't get Jadeveon Clowney? Do y'all remember what it was? I'm going to let the family members put it in the chat. Y'all tell me what was the next corresponding move after the Saints failed to secure Jadeveon Clowney's services because they knew that Davenport was not going to be ready. What was the next thing that they did? What was the next move? I'm going to let y'all fill in the blank on that. All right, let's keep it going here. Thank you for that, Jacob. Who that to you? And Revolt, who that to you? He says Granderson going to hold it down. Yeah, I know that. And I'd rather see Granderson more than Hendrickson, to be honest with you. But the Saints going to ride with the most cautious, the one. As long as Hendrickson can stay healthy, we're going to be all right. And then you mix that with Granderson, mix those two together in there, they should be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because years past, Trey Hendrickson will get swallowed up by the run. Well, he's done a lot better the last couple of years. My issue with Hendrickson is his health. Well, he's healthy. So, that's not the case. But we wanted a veteran to kind of, especially Clay Matthews has more experience than any of those guys there. We like Granderson, Hendrickson, whatever. But Clay Matthews is a guy that knows how to get to the quarterback. 12 games, 8 sacks. There was nobody. He was mostly as a backup for the Rams doing that. So he has a niche and an understanding how to get to the quarterback. And that's something that comes at a premium. Well, you can get him for less than $3 million. The Saints said, nope. What was the next corresponding move? Let me ask the family that. What was the next corresponding move that the Saints did after they didn't get Clowney? Do anybody know? Put it in the chat. Let me see if y'all know what the next corresponding move was. I'm going to get through the rest of the chat, then we're going to fire off into some of the news items, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. All right, let's keep it going. Lee says Mahomes passed for 32 times. To 34 runs. It did not need Edward Hilaire to catch a pass. He sure didn't catch a pass. Andy Reid got what he needed to make Mahomes' job easier. Thank you, Lee. That was really good. And you're right. He sure didn't catch a pass for him yesterday. He was doing it all, but he didn't catch a pass. And I was like, man, that's going to really help them out. They have a do-it-all like Clyde Edwards-Helaire with Mahomes, and then they already had their tight end, 2 really good receivers. And then the Chiefs have a good defense. Always respected the Chiefs, we don't really have much to say about the Chiefs. Like, they're one of those teams we play every 3-4 years or so, and whatever they're doing over there don't impact what we're doing over here. So, always had a respect for the Kansas City organization, man. It's good to see them having success after all those years, by the way. Sample Sound says, what up, Q? I think AK is going to be a beast this Sunday. Hopefully Sean Payton will run the ball. Thank you, Sample Sounds, and who that to you. Appreciate you joining us, fam. All right, Devon Sonier. What up, Devon? How you doing, fam? He says, I think our chemistry is in our favor. Cam will kill the rookie left tackle. Thank you, Devon. Appreciate you, brother. And welcome to the live stream. Please hit the subscribe button, family. If y'all new to the channel, please subscribe and join us. Brother Jerry, how you doing? Brother Jerry, good to see you in the chat as well. Torrey Shepard, once again, big ups to my boy Torrey. Lee said Skip and Shannon echoed you about Kamara being part of the offense, and he deserves to be paid. You got to pay the man his money. You can't then turn around and say, oh, no, you want too much money. It was you. You created this. It's like where do people get that stuff from? You know, where do people get that stuff from? Where you get it from? Where do people get it from? Sean Payton chose to make Alvin Kamara the central part of his offense. Had he been doing like a lot of people recommended he doing, was run the ball with 2 or 3 running backs, I thought that's what you keep. You kept 2 or 3 running backs on your roster for, to run them at specific times of the game. But he chose to pipe in to Alvin Kamara. Well, guess what? You're going to pipe into some money for Alvin Kamara. You created that beast. It could have been a situation where you could have 2 or 3 running back head by committee approach where and then the money wouldn't have been that. So, but when you feed the rock to these guys and they produce, you got to pay them. You can't turn around and say, oh no, and want to make bargain basement prices for the man when he in 3 straight Pro Bowls. He's going to want some money for that. You know, just like you want money to be the coach of the team, you're going to have to turn money loose to these people when you give them the time. Nobody told you to feed Alvin Kamara all that time. I kept saying we need a balanced attack. Mix up Kamara with Latavius Murray, mix up Latavius Murray with Dwayne Washington, and run those guys as a unit, because nobody can stop them if you do that. But you wanted to focus on Kamara last year, even though he had 1 leg and you refused to run Latavius Murray after Teddy Bridgewater was held. You got to deal with it. Pay him. Bottom line. Pay the damn man. Get it over with. Vontae, who that to you, says Sunday is taking too long. You got like a dance some change, Von, bro. It's coming, bro. Who that to you, though, Vontae? Good to see you, fam. Holden Mooker says, we really need to get somebody at the end position. Cam been by itself for too long. Yeah, we need Davenport been struggling, man. Struggling to stay in the lineup. 504 Easy says, Mayor Teddy not going to open the city. Mayor Teddy not going to open the city. There you go. We're going to cover that today, man. The whole state going into phase 3. She keeping it at phase 2. That's not necessarily all on Chantrell, whatever her name is. That's not all on her. Because most of the people that operating in cities like Detroit and Chicago and New York, they're doing the same thing. So it could be a countrywide mentality. I don't think it's exclusively her thinking like that, you know, and that's a part of a problem with a lot of the politics that I don't like. You know, sometimes you got to step out there, you know, and if you want to look at the data and the numbers, the new numbers that came out last month reduced the rates of what was going on significantly, and even said that most of it was misreported. So, I mean, this is the thing when you got to understand that there's a lot of bad information out here. A lot of bad information, a lot of rotten, dirty, stinking dogs out here. And I'm talking about them big people with the news agency putting out stuff to scare the people batshit crazy. A lot of that stuff, they flaming it up, they blowing it up, and you gotta have to make sure you use your discernment to tell the difference between what's right and what's bull crap out there. And there's a lot of bull crap out there. I'm telling you, I'm keeping it real with y'all. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about it, but on cue with Big Q, I'm going to let them have it both barrels, man. Y'all want to hear that? You got to join the Patreon. I got about 10 of them on there already. Jacob says, been here, just been listening. Okay, thank you, Jacob. Appreciate you. A solid listener. Every now and then it's good to hear from y'all in the chat, though. Don't thank you, Jacob. Once again, Hopeful Effect. Appreciate your super chat, friend, and welcome to the channel. Pat Washington, who that says 487 Saints over Bucks. I love it. Kai says it never be too late to get after Clay Matthews. The Saints should have signed that man first thing Monday morning. Real talk. I'm getting down to this chat to see if anybody got the answer to the question I proposed. Is what did the Saints do right after signing, right after they didn't get Jadeveon Clowney? What was the next move? I want to see if people see, if they were paying attention to that. Dada, who there to you, Dada? Good to see you in there. 504 says, lawyer acting a plum fool. Yeah, she talking real. I'm like, man, come on now. What's all this about? What's all this about? But I'm gonna give you my thoughts on some stuff, man. Because I'm coming from a place where I'm above the political thing, man. Listen, this politics being played, man. It's blue team, red team, and I'm sick of them too. I'm sick of these two chump parties dividing the people, man. They pretending it's like the WCW or the WWE of back in the day. It's like when Hulk Hogan was the guy with all the yellow on. Yeah, brother, drink your orange. You know, what he said? Milk. Yeah. He wants you to take your vitamins. Yeah, brother, take your vitamins. And yeah, make all my little Hulkamaniacs out there. I want you guys to take your vitamins, y'all. To all the Hulkamania out there. What you gonna do when the Hulk comes for you? You remember all that? You remember all that? And then that guy used to wear the yellow, Hulk Hogan telling the children to take their vitamins. Yeah, brother. You know, and all that. He put on the black and became Hollywood Hogan. Do you remember that? And he became a member of the New World Order. Then he wasn't telling you to take your vitamins. He was a bad guy then. He was talking reckless and he was totally against the Hulk. And people was like, what's going on? This ain't the Hulk Hogan I know. And he started wearing black and walking around and he was popping, knocking people up, doing stuff that Hulk Hogan would not do. And he got rid of Hulk Hogan. He became Hollywood Hogan. So that was giving a sharp jab to let you know what kind of stuff going on in Hollywood. That's what it's about. But he became Hollywood Hogan. But later on, after all that, he became Hulk Hogan again. Now, why I say all that? Because politics is just like professional wrestling. Just like it is you got people over here who pretending like they don't like each other, and people over there pretending like, but they golf together, they go out and eat together, they marry into each other's families, and they playing games. That's what this is about. There is an attempt, they can give a rat's ass about people out here being safe. This is playing going on between parties because they're trying to win elections and doing all that kind of stuff. That's what's going on, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. But anyway, let me keep it real, man. Let's go back to sports. I talk about that on Q with Big Q. All right, let's keep it rolling. But anyway, the bottom line is 504, easy. The rest of them. Let me get to the bottom here to see what the rest of y'all doing here. Holden Hooker said they did not. He said they did not. They didn't do a damn thing after the Clowney deal. That didn't come. They did do something. Holden Hooker. I'm still looking for the response. 504 Easy said they signed an unknown defensive end. Thank you, 504 Easy. Thank you, 504 Easy. You the man or the woman. Who, I don't know, but you are the person. 504 Easy, big ups to you on this one. All right, now we're not gonna answer the phones right now, family. So we're gonna chill on the phone. So whoever called them, we're gonna have to wait. I kind of had it open a little early there, but I will open the phone lines. I promise you. Let me get through the rest of the news and notes, and I promise I'll get you guys in there. So just give me an opportunity to get through this. I promise I'm open them up. All right, now let's get through the rest of it. Devon says, I believe Curl and Trey can hold it down. I thank you right on that. Sad Scott, who that to you? He said they signed Lanier and put him on the IR. No, the guy that they signed was Willoughby. Remember that? Willoughby. That's the guy that they signed. That's who they signed. Willoughby. And I was like, okay. And then they put him on the practice squad. So your next move after not getting Clowney was to sign a practice squad defensive end. You could have went out and got Clay Matthews. You could have got anybody that could actually help you in game one. But no, and no. And they said, well, it won't be a problem, Q. Thank you. GM Kev says Willoughby. Yes, that's correct. And all the family members that chimed in, y'all absolutely right. That's what it came to. But you could have did something else, is what I'm saying. You could have signed somebody else that could have helped you in week number 1. This guy on this practice squad is not going to help you. He's not. Inevitable, good to see you in the chat as well. And the rest of the family members. Abraham, I see you. John Thompson, who that to you, and the rest of the family members. Big ups to you as well. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to address and come back to the chat after I finish going through the rest of this. These news items, and then I'm gonna play a little something for you guys too momentarily. But let's start it off by, let me share my screen first and foremost. There we go. We're gonna start off here. New Orleans Saints.com giving us the injury report. As you can see, the Saints injury report 2020 week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got 2 players that's listed as out in this thing, and of course, this is the injury report right here. And the Saints only showing 3 guys from week 1. Defensive end Marcus Davenport, elbow, did not play Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and is listed out. Now, it got to be something serious about an elbow, which would stop him from playing, unless they're being cautious with it. But he's listed as out. Ruiz had an ankle situation that has been plaguing him since toward the back end of the month of practice. He is listed out, didn't practice. None of those guys practiced for the rest of the week, Wednesday through Thursday, Friday. Not a good sign. PJ Williams is limited with questionable with a hamstring situation. Saints didn't make any adjustments, in terms of adding or whatever you got to do. They're just going to use some of the depth there, and hopefully we won't need to worry too much about it. Tampa Bay, a lot more to worry about on their end. Mike Evans did not practice. He was limited in Friday and listed as doubtful. I think he'll have a role in the game. We'll see. And the rest of their guys fully practiced, including Jason Pierre-Paul, Ryan Smith, who's the cornerback, Parnell Motley's another cornerback, safety, Andrew Adams. They're dealing with some injuries, but those guys fully practiced Friday, and then Ndamukong Suh did not practice at all, and he doesn't have a declaration, but we'll know what's going on by Sunday about Ndamukong Suh. It matters not from whoever playing on their side of it, but Davenport and Ruiz, as you can see, are listed as out of here. You know, too bad to say. All right, now let's bounce on over here to this one here. And of course, this is PFT reinforcing the story that Saints won't have Davenport or Ruiz. The Saints won't have 2 starters for the season against the Buccaneers. Team is ruled out. Defensive end Marcus Davenport and right guard Cesar Ruiz need to practice this week. And this is kind of a big deal here because both of these guys are first-round draft picks, and they're both injured. That's not a good. I would not like to see Ruiz start his career off that way, and most certainly don't like Davenport starting off this year with another missed game due to injury. Nick Easton is listed as Ruiz backup on the depth chart, and he would definitely play because Andrews Peter plays. So Ruiz, who makes $6 million a year, you're damn right he's going to play. And then, of course, Trey Hendrickson sits behind Marcus Davenport there, and he will definitely start. Trey will fill in for him, and you definitely gonna see Carl Granderson mixed up in there, and you might even see Zach Bourne in there. So defensive back PJ Williams, who's a backup guard, a backup safety, and cornerback, is listed as limited with a hamstring issue. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see PJ either in this game. So just to let you know. All right, moving on to the next discussion here and this is another big news. We said something about it early on in TSC Unleashed. Cantrell, who's the mayor, says no fans at September games tailgating will not be allowed. She said she could not allow 25,000 people to cluster in possible super spreader event. New Orleans Saints Mayor Cantrell says she will not allow fans to Superdome for the Saints game against the Packers later this month. So no games at all for the entire rest of the month, including the Packers game and the Tampa Bay game. We already knew that. At a press conference Friday, she said that she acknowledged the city is excited for football, but said she would not allow 25,000 to cluster in the possible super spreader event. The news conference came one day after Louisiana Governor Bell Edwards announced that the state will move to phase 3, which means you're going to reopen it. You're starting to reopen, allow businesses and ease the restrictions that was put upon businesses and people so that they can continue to kind of help the economy thrive again. Because it's an economic component to this. Okay, it's an economic component to it that'll kill you faster than any stinking ass disease will. Okay, let's get that understood. Now, the state has already given the New Orleans Saints approval to have fans in Superdome stands with their second home game September 27. I said that wasn't going to happen unless the mayor signed off on it. I told you that several days ago, and I knew she probably wouldn't. And it's not hard to predict what the mayor's doing because she's following what the party, a lot of the party guys are saying. It's a unified beehive mentality, you know, that is in. And let me follow the article because a part of it explains you in the rest of this article what's going on. Now, Bel Air, that was said during the conference last month that having fans, he says, at the time is in a plan. Things could change if state numbers increase, and they understand that. But they have to put some target to drive the planning. Edwards is expected to provide more details about restrictions will be lifted or remain in place Friday afternoon. He did not give any details Thursday except to say that statewide mask mandate will remain in place. Mayor said previously that New Orleans is still waiting to receive the city's full share of the CARES Act money from the state and would need that in order to provide the manpower to facilitate the game. What game? What game? The game, the New Orleans Saints game. They don't have the money to pay the facility people. That's what they're saying in this article. The CARES Act, they got a percentage of the CARES Act money, federal money, that the state has not opened up to the city of New Orleans. But the mayor said previously, New Orleans is still waiting to get that money and the city's full share of that money from the state and would need that in order to provide the power to facilitate the game. See? Turn loose the coinage if you want this to happen. It's true, the September the 27th home game with New Orleans. This is receipts, man. Let me highlight that. This is receipts, man. That's all it's ever about. September 27th home game will be played against the Packers. This Sunday, the team's season starts with a home game. Fans, Tom Brady will make his debut with the Buccaneers against Drew in September 13th. That's this upcoming Sunday. Police have asked people not to tailgate or gather downtown ahead of Sunday's game. like most people traditionally do. So most of the time, a lot of it will be done at your home in the comfort of your home. And that's why the TSC virtual tailgate is born into creation. All right, let's keep it moving, man. I want to play a little something for y'all right here. Let me see if I got it tuned up. This is from Speak for Yourself. I'm going to play a little of this here and see what you guys think about this, and we'll go from there. If you can hear it, fine, let me know.
Bush. I love them headphones, Reggie, but no. Right. Yo, what's up, fellas? It's Reggie. We see him. Marcellus, I'm going to go to you first. Who is more likely to win the NFC? Brady's Bucks or Breeze's Saints?
Oh, it's going to be Brady's Bucks, but I'm going to get through this quick because of that.
This dude, and let me just say about this, whatever this Marcus dude, this dude's a complete numbskull, man. By the way, just a numbskull. These are the type of media people you just want to just take just knock them upside the head and see if you hear anything loose when the head start moving back and forth. Because you would think that they have screws loose. This guy would say Tom Brady, and which look at Reggie's things like, man, are you serious, man? Oh, come on.
Or Breeze's Saints?
Oh, it's going to be Brady's Bucks, but I'm going to get through this quick because of that. That's why I'm going to go fast, because I knew this wasn't a hard one for Reggie to prep for, saving his season tickets down there in New Orleans. So I'm going to get to you, Reggie, pretty fast here. But look, if you look at what the Bucks were able to do, everyone's talking about this offseason, what they've done offensively. Obviously, adding Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and then just shoring up all their weapons. You talk about Leonard Fournette, LaShawn McCoy, et cetera. But what we haven't taken notice of fully is how they finished off last season. Despite Jameis Winston having the turnovers, that defense in particular, how well that they played at the end of last year. So if you look at them last year, where were they? Top 5 in takeaways, and 3rd in yards allowed on defense. That's a defense that's starting to hit its stride in the latter part of last year, the final 8 weeks. Now you take all of that momentum, add it with the offensive firepower that they have. You put a GOAT as a cherry on top. I think that they're going to be able to outmaneuver what the Bucks and the Saints are going to see week 1 and throughout this entire year. So I give the slight edge to the Bucks. Let's hear it, Eric. Let's hear it, Reggie.
You're wrong.
Are you serious?
First off, before
Tell
my
him.
dog Reggie kills you,
Tell
I'm
him.
going to throw my dog Reggie to oop. But let me start like this, Marcellus. You're a smart man, so I like talking smart
All
to
his
you.
facts is
If
misleading.
addition by subtraction can exist, then subtraction by addition can also exist. Think about the Buccaneers and think about all them egos on that squad. You got Rob Gronkowski, first ballot future Hall of Famer, comes out of retirement to play with the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, then you got Mike Evans, who's in his primary receiver. You got Chris Godwin, who's in his primary receiver. I just told y'all about Gronkowski at one tight end. Your other tight end, O.J. Howard, well, he's a first-round pick. LaShawn McCoy sitting in the backfield. Also with Leonard Fournette, who was used to getting all the touches. Oh, but then you got Ronald Jones, who was promised to be the starter. There's only one football on the field, Marcellus.
One football.
Here we go. One football. But besides one football, there's one quarterback. Everybody killed Jameis Winston. Oh, my God, they killed him. Reggie, you heard it. They killed him. Marcellus, you heard it. They killed him. But wait. Jameis Winston is one of only 8 quarterbacks to pass for 5,000 yards in a season. Yeah, Tom Brady did that back in 2011. Marcellus, you were probably still playing then, sir. So as much as people was hating on Jameis actually got the ball around to all them pieces. Now, I'm going to tell you about the flaws in the Buccaneers defense, which is going to be their real problem later. That's the cliffhanger. Reggie, go ahead and kill this man Marcellus off, sir.
So listen, man, that defense that you talked about, and you said how well they played at the end of the season, that defense was 29th in scoring.
Talk about
it. 29th out of 32 teams.
Only 32
also, they were 30th in passing. What do the Saints do well? Please remind me. They throw the football well. And who do they throw it well to? Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook, Emmanuel Sanders. We got so many options. So
yeah, you got so many. You ran out.
I think people. I was gonna say Taysom Hill.
Yeah, you better not.
Taysom Hill. But why not? Taysom Hill is a dog.
That
but at
dude's
the end
stupid,
of the
man.
day,
I told y'all.
What it's gonna come down to is this is a very different year for a lot of those guys. They don't have a preseason that they were able to work with and to gel and to build that chemistry on the football field.
That's real.
You mean to tell me they're gonna have to overcome adversity? And that first time is going to be against the New Orleans Saints, who have won the division 3 years in a row. Come on, man. People got to have real expectations about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow.
Saints all day.
Wow.
Saints all day. Thank you, Reggie. You got to have real expectations and not a dumbass like this guy right here. But to keep it real with you, man, Reggie Bush keeping it real and letting them know off the bat Listen, man. The Saints all day, man. Saints all day. Real expectations. Don't expect Tom Brady to get in there and look like Tom Brady or old, like he still running Belichick's offense. It won't quite happen that way. You know, like some said, it'll take time for him to gel, just like it took time for the Saints to gel. But at the same time, baby, you ain't got that much time. We're going to jump on this team. We're going to beat them. But I just wanted to see how stupid some of these people are, especially that Wiley dude or whatever his name is. That's a stupid guy, man. He said a lot of dumb commentary. But that's what kind of people have jobs. Those type of people that you see on TV every day trying to tell people about football and be wrong as two left shoes. Anyway, that's a part of it, man. I'm going to spin one more interview for you guys coming up here. I'm going to spin one more interview from you guys. We played Sean Payton a little earlier. I got, speaking of the man that Reggie was trying to tell you about, Taysom Hill, we're going to spin a little Taysom up next, and we're going to play some of Taysom's interview so you guys can check that out. And then after that, I'm going to fire into the chat, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines and see what the family members got to say. So y'all just give me a second. We'll get that going and momentarily. Just give me just a second here. Let me get that going.
Make this one quick and easy for me.
Okay, thank you, Taysom. I guess the last time a lot of the fans saw you on the field, we saw so much in Minnesota. Do you think that will potentially be what we could see this weekend and in future games, or will it kind of just be determined on a game-to-game basis? Not to give too much away, I see you smiling.
Yeah, I think every week will be a little bit different, and I think we're trying to find that balance of how much I'm going to be used, how much I'm not going to be used. So I think the coaches have done a nice job of finding different ways that we can create challenges for the defense, and I think it really becomes a week-to-week thing.
Yeah, I'm just curious, your scouting report on Marquez Callaway, both as a special teamer, and I guess you're in the unique position also to speak on him as a wide receiver from the quarterback perspective.
Yeah, I think he obviously had a really good camp, came in and made the roster. I think he was a kid that he has, the raw talent. He's fast, he's got good hands, everything that you'd want to see from a receiver. But I felt like he had this really competitive nature about himself, which at the end of the day, when you're playing special teams, it's all about competing and, winning your matchups, and that's what he was doing.
David? Yeah, with your unique role on this team, I'm curious, has your mentality or the way you prepare mentally for going into a game changed since you've been here?
I think, my role has evolved so much since the time I first got here and until the point that I'm at now. So, training camp, I was in this whole mindset that, man, I have the opportunity to really work on myself as a quarterback and being as good as I possibly can. And I still have that mindset week to week, but I'm going to be asked to do different things, different weeks. So I do have this mental shift because the reality is so much of the quarterback position is played mentally. Well, now I'm stepping into a role where there's a pretty physical aspect to what I'm going to be asked to do. So that preparation has certainly been different.
Yeah, speaking of roles, you added another one, being a father. Just what's that been like, juggling football with father and probably not sleeping a whole lot?
I've got to be honest. I'm still getting plenty of sleep, which means my wife is not. But honestly, it's been some of the best few weeks of my life. My wife and I feel so blessed to have the opportunity to welcome this little guy into our family, and we feel, like I said, very, very blessed. It's been a very special time for my wife and I to do this, and we've had help. Her mother was here, my mother's here now, and so I'm still making sure that I'm staying up to speed on everything I have to do, Saints-wise, but it certainly added a different element of having the opportunity to go home following a day and to see this little guy.
Papa Taysom taking care of the children and being a football player as a father, man. So he's taking it, ratcheted up degrees, and he seems like a pretty responsible dude, man. Good to see him. Much love to him and his family from the Great Saint Think Tank and Who Dat Nation, man. They do it in the right way, man. People work hard, and they do what they're supposed to do, man. And he's doing what he's supposed to do on the field, and I just got a lot of respect for that. Who Dat to the Black and Gold family members chiming in on this edition of the live stream. Please smash upon the like button. Went through a few of those things, family. Now I'm in the process of opening up the phone lines right now so we can get a few calls from the family members to chime in here. So just give me just a second momentarily here. Let me set up everything correctly so we don't have any issues to worry about at all. All right. All right, family. All right, we got it going now. Everything seems to be fine. I ran a check on the systems. We all seem to be fine right now, and the phone lines are activated. For the family members who want to chime in, feel free to chime in. 504-475-4482 is the live line for you to get your call on. 504-475-4482 to get your call on. Questions, concerns, comments. What do you think is going to go on in the game? You got an opportunity to chime in, and then let me know how, and let the rest of the Great Saint Think Tank Nation know how you feel about the team, about what you see from the team, how the team been acting, certain players. Who do you think, and how do you think Trey Hendrickson and Carl Granderson, and also Zach Bowen, who I think might have an opportunity to play a little bit at that pass rush situational pass rush role? How do you think the guys will perform in this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? So 504-475-4482, live lines are open. 504-475-4482, 504-475-4482. Live lines are open, family. I'm going to be with you guys till about 8:40, 8:45. Give me a little time to prepare for the installment of Pelican Post Game Report tonight. We do it every Friday, 9 o'clock on the channel. So here we go. All right, family, thanks for calling the Sports Coma. Who's on the line? All right, family, can you hear me?
Hello, hey.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I can hear you loud and clear now. How you doing, family?
I'm doing good. This subject I called in yesterday, but I just want to talk about how the media sit up there and they kiss Tom Brady's butt. And I'm sick and tired of it. Every time you go on the news, they sit up there, oh, Tom Brady the GOAT, Tom Brady the GOAT. I mean, if you look at it, the man has had it easy all throughout his whole career down there in New England.
Hold on.
Had no
is this you, Avery? Is that you calling, bro? You didn't give me your name. Is that Avery? Who's
this Cedric? I called in
Cedric.
Yesterday.
Okay, you sound like. Hold on, Cedric. Hold on. Give me just a second. Who we got another call on the line? Who else on the line, family?
This Freddie Q.
Freddie. All right, Freddie. We got Cedric and Freddie on the line. All right, just give me a second, Cedric. Let me. I'm gonna get everything set up here, my family. All right, fam. All right, Cedric. Go ahead on, brother. We got you first, and then we got brother Freddie right behind you. Go ahead and voice your concern, my friend.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm so tired of the media sitting up there kissing Tom Brady's butt. He had it easy down there in New England his whole career. I mean, what competition did he have down there? You can't name nobody down there that he had that's good. I mean, look at Pat Mahomes. Who Pat Mahomes got down there in his division that's good? I mean, who Lamar got down there in his division that's good? Besides Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben is sitting up there getting wood. And we ain't see nothing from Bucs fan until Tom came down there. Tom has had it easy his whole career, and he ain't gonna have it easy down here in the South. Because we got Cam Jordan, and I'm gonna tell you this, he ain't gonna play with you. If Cam go get his, and I can't wait on Sunday when I see Cam sit up there and get past that guard, and he get up there and sack Brady, and Brady go on the ground, pouting, sitting up there looking around, looking for a flag, and he don't get in there, and I'ma just be waiting for it. But that's all I wanted to say, Big Q. I'm tired of the media sitting there kissing Tom Brady butt.
All right, Cedric, I appreciate that. Who that to you, and thank you a lot, brother.
Who that to you, Big Q? Thank you.
No problem, my brother. Peace. All right, Freddie, you on the line?
Yeah.
All right, Freddie, how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, Q. How about you, bro?
Hey, bro, I'm doing good, my man. I can't complain a lick. What's on your Saint brain today, my friend?
Man, I'm a little disturbed with this with this Davenport and Ruiz situation.
Okay.
Like you was preaching all summer, we should have went after an end. That pass rush is vital to the defense. That's like the cell, and that's like the nucleus in the cell for our defense. I'm a little worried, but I would be more secure if we had to took care of that. Clay Matthews, we could have got him for a little nothing.
Yep.
He still got a little something left in the tank. We let slip through our fingers and went to Dallas. And I don't know what happened with the whole Clowney situation. But other than that, I'm ready to make a statement because I'm sick of these clowns and these coons on these shows. Don't know nothing about who that nation with these ridiculous assumptions, and they really just hating on the same swag what it looks like. Cause that Wiley, Marcellus Wiley, I don't even know where he come from.
Yeah, he another idiot, another moron.
And very seldom you can even get a Saints clip on these shows unless it's about some mess or some foolishness.
Well, if it's some mess, this number one on top about some mess.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And but other than that, I'm ready to put this Brady talk to sleep. It's big goat versus little goat, and we're gonna see who got the real goat.
Yep, you're right, brother Fred. I mean, it's a part of it, man. But it's a part of it is like it's a pretend game too. It's a kind game, like I always say. I call it they ain't nothing but confidence, man. That's the short word for con man is a confidence man. That's people what they used to do back in the day. They used to go and steal old people's retirements and do dirty stuff like that to get the old folks out of their money, and some of them used to swindle the ladies out of their money and all this kind of stuff. Con game. But these confidence people pretend like they know about the NFL, they know about your team, and they don't know a damn thing about the Saints. They don't know nothing about the top 6 or 7 guys that they can throw in their mouths and make you see that they think. But when you start talking about getting to the meat and potatoes of the players behind the players that help the team win, they don't know nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, go ahead, Freddie.
I'm glad Reggie flexed on him because
he did.
Yeah, he was talking stupid.
Yeah, he a fool. He a big fool, a egghead fool. He a big fool, man. He take pride in waking up every morning, putting a wig on and makeup on, and jump around in clown shoes and baggy hammer pants. He a big fool. He a big foolish clown. He take pride in it.
Yeah, man. I'm ecstatic though. I done got all my jerseys out the cleaners. Got all my jeans, heavy starch. I'm ready to put on.
You getting ready, Freddie?
Yeah.
That's good, bro. Because man, we're gonna put on a show, man. You might need to get your tuxedo ready, man, because we're gonna put on a whole showbiz like show. It's gonna be almost like a Hollywood Broadway production. We're gonna take apart this Tampa Bay Buccaneers club, man. We gotta be able to, and that's the thing, man. Like I said, the pressure is on Tampa Bay. They're doing all this start status stuff. They got the Super Bowl in their hometown. Tom Brady coming with all the fanfare, Brain Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette. They're doing all these showbiz type moves. Let's see what's made. Let's see what happens. But remember, the Saints are the kings of the NFC South, and
for sure.
And Tom Brady always was used to being a guy that sits at the top seat. And this one, he chasing the true kings of the division. And I think we were better than what we were last year.
Now, I'm glad you said that because I want your opinion on this here. You know, not to be not to be a conspiracy theorist, but in your opinion, do you think Brady is trying to chase Drew for these records? Brady got the 6 rings. 2 of them questionable for sure.
Right.
You can't take that. You can't take that from him. I mean, he got them. But as far as he ain't gonna catch Drew in all-time yards. I don't really believe he's gonna be able to outdo his completion percentage. But I think Drew sitting on 547 touchdowns and Brady at 543. I got a feeling that's really what this whole coming to the NFC South thing was about, because I believe had Drew hung his cleats up, he would have came to the Saints.
No doubt about it. That's brother Fred. That's just on both of those. I mean,
yeah,
you making it easy for me to answer that one. I mean, the number one is Tom Brady was definitely looking at Drew Brees when Drew Brees took them records down. Remember when and a lot of people, I don't have to pull out the receipts because people they remember what happened when Tom Brady sent him that congratulatory tweet. Then he also put in that same tweet he sent to him that he chasing him. Tom Brady wants all the records. He wants all of the records.
Yeah, because I think he gave him the winking eye emoji.
Yeah.
You know, as a signify, I'm watching you, buddy.
Right.
I'm coming. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he'd messed up this round though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see, but that's the thing when you've been living and as King Brady for all this time. And don't get me wrong, Tom Brady is what a lot of people, including myself, would consider this generation's Joe Montana. No doubt about it. The way with 6 championships, 2 of them are questionable, but still in all, to go there that many times and secure 6 of them with him and Belichick were fantastic. I can't take that away from them people. But at the same time, I do know Tom Brady wants to be the greatest that ever done it. That's why he playing into his 40s, and he intends to capture Drew Brees' records in the next 2 years. He intends on playing the next 2 years. Now, whether Drew Brees intends on playing another 2 years to keep Tom Brady away from his records, as competitive as we know Drew Brees is, I would say that he will be here. As long as Brady plays, he's going to play to keep them records away from Tom Brady. But Brady's here to take Drew's records and to line up against him, because the truth be told is Drew Brees and Tom Brady, those 2 first ballot Hall of Famers. But if he plays Drew the next 2 years and go up against him and tries to beat Drew Brees over the next couple of years and even win Super Bowls where Drew's supposed to win Super Bowls in front of his face and then take his records down, man, that's the intention here. And you're right. If Drew would have retired like he intended to do, and Sean Payton didn't go and get on the phone with him and start saying, "Baby, come back. Hey, Breezy, you can blame it all on me," until he did that. And you know what? And brother Fred, I even heard him up in there singing a little Keith Sweat to him too. Why me, babe? So I mean, at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. Tom Brady wants everything Drew Brees has, man. He wants the records. He got the championships, but he wants those passing records. And that's why he said, if he would have went to Tampa and Drew would have retired, Tom Brady would have came to New Orleans. So one way or the other, we're going to get a Super Bowl. Maybe 2 of them, definitely 2 of them, one way or the other, whether it was Brady or Brees, we're going to get them.
Okay. Well, I need 35 touchdowns. I need 5,000 yards and the bowl out of Drew this year.
Right. You gotta do it.
I don't think Brady gonna be able to top that, because especially with the yardage, Drew too far ahead of him, and that way he keep a nice little distance in between. Now that sucker's talking about playing until he's 45. I believe he's gonna try it.
Yeah, he is gonna try it. He gonna try
You
it
know, but
as
he
long as it
didn't.
take to get Breeze's records. He gonna try it. He's serious about getting his records.
But he should have went to the Chargers because he gonna get his issue in his NFC.
Right. Yeah, this is tough. And see, that's the thing. Their offensive line, we could talk all we want about the Tampa Bay defense. The real issue of Tampa Bay's defense, the strength is up front. The interior line with Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, and they have really good linebackers. But there's questionable in the secondary, and their offensive line is a questionable too. So that's too many dangerous plays.
I don't think Suh playing Sunday.
He might be out. Yeah, he's listed on the injury report as they're not saying whether he's out or not.
Oh, they're gonna say that.
But he could be out though. We'll see.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Q. I ain't gonna hold the line up, man. Take me out with a Reverend Saint on his take.
Say, baby, I appreciate you calling, baby. No doubt about it, baby. Who that to you? Let me tell you something, baby. I've been kind of quiet sitting in the chat, baby. I don't have to talk, baby, until somebody asks me to talk. Sometime I might volunteer some information, baby. But if I'm talking right, baby, let me tell you something, baby. Off top, baby, let me tell you bottom line, baby. Tom Brady, baby, let me tell you something, baby. You ain't ready for this pain here, baby. You did a wrong thing, baby. Coming on down here, baby. Let me tell you what, baby. Tampa Bay, baby, you gonna be in trouble, baby. The black and gold, baby, they on the mission, baby, and you don't want to get in their way, baby. Who that to you, baby? Who that, Freddie?
Hey, man, who that?
All right, Freddie, thank you, my man. You be good out there, my brother, and I'll talk to you later.
I do.
Peace. All right, that's brother Freddie chiming in, man. Good to talk to the brothers and the sisters. All right, let's keep it going, family. Your opportunity is next. 504-475-4482, 504-475-4482. Live lines are open. We will be on the line to roughly before 9, like maybe 8:45-ish or something like that. But you can get in here while the live line's open. Appreciate Brother Cedric and Freddie chiming in. Big ups to the family members and the live stream as well, as we will revisit the chat and give some shots out right here. Who that to the beautiful black and gold family members. Please hit the like button. Over 70 people in the chat. Please hit the like button. Let's get it up to 100 if we possibly can, family. Let's get it up there. All right, let's keep it going here. Back into the chat. Pat Washington Jr. says, appreciate that. My brother God's, okay, I can give him a shout out. Thank you for that, Patrick. Who that to you, Abraham? I see you. John Thompson, once again, big ups to you. Sat Scott, who that to you as well. GM Kev in the building as well. Inevitable says, Lampin debating if I should go to the gym or not. Who that Nation for life. Good to see you in the chat, family. Who that to you says, I have said it before. I love Sean Payton, but he's holding us back, man. Look at the other teams that have moved on from long-term coaches. I mean, the Packers just went to the NFC Championship with a new coach. Welcome to listen, let me say this to Who That Nation for life. Who That Nation for life, you might as well press upon the subscribe button right now. Press that button right now, Who That Nation for life, because you have found your Saints home, man. You have found your Saints home. Who That Nation for life. Smash upon the like button if you're not, a subscribe button and a like button. But more importantly, if you're not a subscriber, smash that damn subscribe button because you home, man. You are home with the Great Saint Think Tank, thinking like that. That's what type of thinking right there that we all in here. You can't really say that with too many of them other people out there because a lot of the Saints people are still stuck like we can't, if we lose Sean Payton, we going to go back to the brown bag days. What about LaFleur that the Packers had? He took them in a deep playoff run. You see what I'm saying? What about some of these other young coaches that's coming on the scene that's having championship runs with their clubs? It's almost like there is not any success without this guy, even though he represents success. Could it be in the fact that he helped elevate the franchise to a certain level for somebody to take it and move it forward? He ain't going to be here forever. And the bottom line is he is holding us back to a degree. Because if you're not evoluting your scheme and staying balanced, you're causing great harm to the organization. And how you have guys like Brandon Marshall and the rest of them, and people will discount him and say, oh, he's just a hater. No, we picked apart what he said in prior shows. Go back and listen to it. And I've been saying this. I said, listen, Sean Payton needs to stay disciplined. Discipline is the key to this whole goddamn thing. We need to stay disciplined and run the freaking ball. That's what it comes down to. It's not about that other stuff. It is not about that other stuff at all, man. I'm telling you the truth. We have to run the ball and play discipline. We can't be sitting up and turning the ball over with interceptions and doing stupid stuff, because of bad technique. Holding on like what P.J. Williams do, grabbing and holding on to the wide receivers and shit when he's supposed to be guarding them correctly. That's lazy man stuff. All right, thank you for joining the Great Saint Think Tank family. Who's on the line?
Hey, it's David from Dallas, man. How you doing?
David, how you doing, friend? Appreciate you chiming in,
good,
man. What's on your Saint
No
brain
problem,
today,
man.
family?
Man, what do you think? What do you think is gonna happen on Sunday, man? What do you think the score's gonna be?
The score, David? Let me see, friend.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe like 28 to, I said this before, I'm thinking like 28-24. That's what I'm looking at. 28-21, somewhere around there. But I like the 28-21. I like 28 to nothing, but I'll keep it realistic. I would say maybe like 28 to 24, something like that. What do you think, David?
I mean, recently the Saints don't start out that hot, like in the beginning of the year.
That is true.
That, right?
That is true, bro.
So I wonder what's gonna happen this year. So even though Tampa Bay is not like they haven't played together with Brady before, so they might just be as rusty as the Saints defense. You know how it is.
Right. Well, you're right, bro. We do start off kind of slow, bro. That's why we need the running game. What you think about that? What do you think about if they can utilize the running game to gather a rhythm with the short passes, then get going with the play action off the back of the running game? How do you think it'll turn out then?
Yeah, it'll be better, but we don't have a starting right guard anymore, right? Like he's not gonna play.
Well, yeah, Larry Warford is not here, and we have Ruiz
that
there.
Rookie's hurt.
Right, he's hurt, and then now you got your $6 million backup in there. So I mean, that is a problem. That's an issue. But I'll tell you what, David, I would rather if I have an issues with my offensive line like that, I would want to run that ball a little bit more than dropping back to pass that ball. Even though Drew gets that ball out quickly, I would still lean on that run in this game. Let's lean on that run. You know what I'm saying? At least that'll get you some rhythm going, bro. Because you go out there trying to wing the damn thing around, and I just don't know. We gotta run the ball, bro. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Man, we should look into getting Ziggy Ansah, man. He was pretty good.
Good call.
I don't know what happened to him recently, and if Davenport keeps going on that injury list, I don't know what's gonna happen with him. You know.
Well, David, let me ask you this: what do you think about Davenport, man, in his constant injuries? You think he could be able to beat it, or you just think this is an omen for what we're gonna be getting for the next couple of years or so? What's your opinion?
I don't know. He should have learned a lot more. He should be a lot further than he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like his play style, but he's not there yet.
Right.
I feel like he should have more moves to his pass rush than just to have a bull rush.
Right.
That's all he does is just trying to beat his guy, go straight through him. You know, you got to go around him sometimes.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and what you think about Patrick Mahomes, man? We could have had that guy at 150.
man, that guy, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. He's something to watch, man. And David, we could not only could we have had Mahomes, but we could have had Lamar Jackson too. We could have had Lamar too.
I think Sean Payne would have. I don't think Sean Payne would work out with Lamar Jackson.
He ain't
he has that ego of he wanna do it his way. You know.
I don't think
Baltimore changed their whole scheme.
But I don't think he good with the young quarterbacks at all, though, David. I mean, he had several opportunities to draft. He could have had Mahomes if he wanted to, if he was a little bit more aggressive that year. He could have had him. He traded up to that spot where Lamar Jackson was sitting there, and we thought that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But he took Davenport. And then last year, we took Ruiz when you could have had – what you think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, how he looked yesterday?
Man, he's real good, dude. He just needs to put on a little bit of weight so he can run through at a goal line.
Mm-hmm.
He got stopped 3-4 times at the goal line.
Right.
He could have legit had 3 touchdowns.
That's true. That's true.
If he just went through them. Yeah. And if he would have just not moved up to get Davenport, we still would have had the Alexander guy, the corner from Green Bay.
Oh yeah, Jair Alexander, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where that's the pick they got. Green Bay got from us, and they drafted him.
Yeah,
and
he's
we
a
would have
player.
had 2 good corners. Plus, we didn't have to pay Lattimore. We just had to. We just kept Alexander, you know.
Yeah, that's a great point there, man. I mean, we
Yeah.
made some moves, man, but now we got to live with it, though,
Yeah.
David. We got to live with it. We didn't
Yeah.
get Mahomes boys. We
Yeah.
instead of getting Mahomes boys, we got who we got. We couldn't get Jackson. We got Davenport,
Yeah.
and now we stuck with what we got. We got what we got. We got to make it work, bro. we sitting here.
Yeah.
We sitting here on the cusp of a first game against Tampa Bay. Everybody saying Tampa Bay. All of the big wigs and the things saying that Tampa Bay is going to beat the Saints and they're going to win. And not only are they going to win the game against the Saints, but I've seen Chump say on NFL Network that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was going to win the NFC South. I've seen some say they're going to represent the NFC. Some people say they was going to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. I'm like, wow.
I mean, nah.
Come
it's
on.
not happening, you know.
Right.
That wouldn't happen. I mean, I take the Saints over the Bucs to go to the Super Bowl. Not even because I'm their fan. I just, you know, I think the Saints team is way better than theirs.
Right.
And what else was I gonna say?
Man, I tell you, man.
So that's not it, man.
Well, David, man, I thank you, man, for chiming in from Texas, man. Much love to your family. I appreciate your support. And you called a while ago, buddy. I remember you. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Feel free to call a little bit
more,
man.
Yeah, man. I'm always watching your stuff, man. I'm always on YouTube, you know.
Well, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for chiming in and putting up with us here, man. Thank you, brother.
No
Who that to you, fam?
All right, man. Who that, man?
All right, that's David, man. Great call, man. Appreciate David chiming in all the way from the great state of Texas, man. Who that to my boy David? Big ups to you, D. Appreciate you, fam. All right, man. Let's keep it going in the chat here as well. Who that to you and the rest of the family members in the building. Big ups to the family members chiming in the live stream, man. The live lines are open. And I'd like to thank Cedric, Freddie, and David for chiming in. Big ups to the family members for dropping that knowledge. And you could be one of those family members as well. 504-475-4482. Live lines are open for you to drop your knowledge on the family and speak to the nation right now. 504-475-4482. Live lines open. We'll be with you for a little bit over an hour. So that's plenty enough time to get a lot of other really good callers in there. So feel free to call 504-475-4482. I'm gonna be in the chat. All right, let's keep it going here. But that's to get back to Who That Nation, man. What you said about it. It said, I love Sean Payton, but he holds us back. Let's look at the teams that have moved on from him, long-term coaches. I mean, the Packers just went. That's true. And that's a mentality we have to understand, man. The Saints are a wanted team. Thank you, son. Thank you, Jay Survivor. Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate the super chat. Much love to Jay Survivor. He says, remind me of the Eagles' dream team with Vince Young. Well, yep. How about that? Man, I remember that, man. And it don't always work out like San Francisco did it when they had everybody there. Sometimes it fails, you know. So once again, thank you, Jay Survivor, for your super chat, friend. Appreciate you there. All right, let's keep it going. So they made it official. He said they made it official to sign Elvin. They had not made it official just as of yet. Excuse me. You ate? Did you eat? Coffee mug, 2 scoops. All right, let's keep it going here. The family members chiming in the live streams. Pardon me for that. Son asked me for dessert. Like, did you eat first? You gotta have dessert is usually what you do after you finish eating. All right, let's keep it going. All right, but I appreciate that Who That Nation for life, man. You're absolutely right on the Sean Payton front. We give Sean Payton his credit. But listen, I want to tell everybody, don't always get so blinded to the successes of the past, man. Let's get that understood. Don't sit up here and get blinded to the successes of the past, so much so that you're looking for successes in the past and you ain't getting too much in the future. You know, you get to a point, it was a point in our development where we were just happy with just having a few, win, because we were like the Cleveland Browns. But we're not like that no more, man. It's time for championships, and we understand that at a higher level, you to get the championship, so we're going to get somebody that will. That's the bottom line. And it's just like you see a lot of championship organizations. Look at the University of Alabama came along when they had the Bear Bryant winning multiple championships. A lot of people thought that he would never have a guy that would come that'll be able to do that ever again. So what happened? They had Gene Stallings came along, and then Stallings came, and then after him, here come this other nincompoop coming along here, and Nick Saban. So Nick Saban comes along here and wins a bunch of crowns. So it's always somebody. When you're a credible organization, you're going to attract really solid football minds. And we have a lot of football minds, but listen, we need to just stay disciplined and make this happen. All right, thank you for that, Who Dat Nation for Life. Devon, who they says they made it official to sign Elvin. Not yet, brother. I've been paying attention to that, but nothing that I've seen official on the Elvin Kamara front as of now. But hopefully, I'm saying you might hear about something like that, because remember 3 days ago it came by way of the Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter 3 days ago he put it out there that the Saints are extremely close. Well, that was 3 days ago. So if we don't hear about something tonight, hopefully the completion will be Saturday, what is the cutoff point where you get the deal done before the game, so it's something that you were supposed to fix. Now, you failed at getting Clowney together. Matter of fact, it stalled the negotiations because they cut off negotiations with Elvin Kamara to go run after Jadeveon Clowney. It's not like they had somebody there working the boat for both of them so they can keep them ongoing. No, they stopped to chase him, and that put the timeline back somewhat, which is a shame. You don't push away your 3-time Pro Bowl running back to go chase a guy and he ain't even on the team. That's a bad look there. That's number one. And not too many people caught that, but good thing I did, man. I pays attention to stuff, man. It's how stuff look. It's what they call optics. You know what I'm saying? It's optics, how stuff look. You're pushing aside your 3-time Pro Bowl running back to go chase a guy, who's not committed to the team. That's bad optics there, man, real bad. But as far as some of the rechecks, there's nothing new on that story. They're still working on a deal. Hopefully, we'll get that done tomorrow. Thank you, Devon. Inevitable says we traded up to get this fragile piece of glass. And see, he's gonna get that, man. Davenport is gonna get that, man. He's gonna get a lot of that Mr. Glass talk. Brother JT said it last night, and I didn't know he was referencing that, but a lot of people going to start calling them porcelain. They're going to call fine china. They're going to be calling them all that kind of stuff, and it's not really fair, but I'll keep saying that if you're not made for that life, you got to put some people behind him that kind of help take that pressure off. But anyway, thank you for calling the Great Saint Think Tank family. Who's on the line?
Man, this is Big Rob. What's up? Good evening, bro. How the family doing? Everybody good?
Everybody good, Big Rob. How you doing, fam?
Bro, we were hoping this wouldn't happen with Davenport, man. It's depressing deja vu. It's some Groundhog Day stuff with this dude, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
This is a position we find ourselves in. We all gonna be rooting. We all gonna be hoping. But when you say something about optics, I believe the what needs to happen is different ownership is where I am with it. It was so vicious when the family was fighting and all this stuff was going on, and we found out earlier this year Ms. Benson was diverting some of the resources for the organization to help with some stuff with the Catholic Church and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
When you have a person who is, she's the only female owner, I think, right? Isn't she the only female owner in the league, I think?
I want to say, yeah.
The other one passed away, I think.
Well, the lady from the Rams passed away, but I think she is the only owner. I might be mistaken. I think there might be one other. That might be one other somewhere. I'm going to check on that, but go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, well, she's one of the only, and obviously she's one of the richest women in America.
Oh, yeah.
So when you have that, it's not good optics to now just leave that owner, but I really do think the comfort level for her, where she now for the first time has a waiting list, with the team. Mr. Benson didn't have that, in our days when we were watching them boys in the 80s and 90s and stuff. These games weren't being sold out with waiting lists and are nationally televised the way they are. So you have this comfort level, and now with the new TV contract sitting in, her comfort level is just at a point where we as the fans, we are just literally at the mercy of realizing she is not going to do that thing that needs to be done and point out the fact that you guys have become far too comfortable. Y'all getting reckless with these precious picks. Just too much of the same thing keeps happening where, as I said the other day, like the fan base, we're past that the honeymoon phase now. It's the realization of, okay, it's cool, it's good, I'm glad we winning more, but come on, y'all, we need to start fixing this stuff. Right. And I do not think Ms. Benson will do it. It's not going to dampen any of our enthusiasm and love for the team, but it's just clearly at a point now where it's time for a fresh start. It really is. But part of being a fan is being fanatical. And so you'll have people who can never have that intelligent conversation that we get to have, where some people feel you just can never, ever, ever say nothing bad because they remember the bad days, but just because if you're in a relationship, just because somebody's not abusing you don't mean it's still a great relationship in other areas. You know what I'm saying? we think, in these extremes, like, I'm just glad we not embarrassed to be a Saints fan. But come on, y'all, this is about winning. This is about realizing these moments are precious. This is about all these things that we seem to just don't care no more. Why? Because at the end of the day, as Benson knows, we are going to pack that dome. We're going to be on national television, and we are going to win enough games to be in contention. Some people, it is enough for, and I know for another fan base, they'd be like, bro, you sound stupid right now. I wish that was the problem we had. We still can be realistic and say, hey, man, sometimes things have ran their course. Sometimes they have, because, man, you had me about to cry a second ago reminding me that we really could have had Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. We could have had several guys. And when we picked Davenport, he already was hurt. We picked an injured dude with an injury history. We picked this dude. And now sometimes you get what you thought you was going to get. We always are hoping for the best. Well, if he plays out of this world, we'll be okay. Well, man, you setting yourself up if you're asking the dude to always have to play lights out, just to be okay. This dude, it hurts, man. We was really needing that, bro. We was needing it. I know Cam and them, they're professionals, they can't say it, but it's got to be demoralizing and deflating for them too.
Yes, it is.
It has to be. It has to be. But we all gonna be watching and screaming. My prediction is I have us winning by 13, and we'll see. I didn't put no money with that statement though, but I have, and I'm gonna get my wife's final score later. We have a personal bet at home. I encourage couples to do where, depending on who loses, that's who's gonna cook on Monday. Just keep it real simple and fun.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yes, we're gonna get that going. Thank you again for this avenue that you provided for us, where we can talk realistically about the team that we love, man. So thank you, Who Dat, and everybody that's listening. I'll talk to y'all next time.
Much love to you, Big Rob. Appreciate that realism, my brother. Who Dat to you.
Peace.
Peace out. All right, that's Big Rob, man. Appreciate the call. All right, family on the line. Who's thank you for calling the Great Saint Think Tank. Who's on the line?
Hey, Q, this is Ernest. How you doing, friend?
Hey, Professor. How you doing, my friend?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a while, Professor. You kind of been in the dome of solitude, the fortress of solitude, like Verlin and the rest of them. Good to hear from you, though, my brother. You too. Hey, I want to say thoughts and prayers out to Scoop and his family. Yes, sir. That's what I want to start. I'll start with that. What I want to tell you is that I listen to your YouTube a lot, and the family's kept me going. So I've had a lot of issues like Scoop. Oh. So yeah. So if you can just put the prayers out for me too. Oh yeah, no doubt about it, Professor. You got that. Everybody in the Great Saint Think Tank. Let's send them prayers. We know about Scoop going through some stuff, but I often tell the family members, listen, if you have birthdays, if it's something going on and you need some extra spiritual help and some power, man, listen, I ain't saying you put too much of your business, whatever you comfortable with the family members, but prayers up to the family members that need them, because there's a lot of stuff going on in this country right now. And in the world period, we got natural disasters that happen to some of the family members. And we also have family members with health issues and family issues as well. So Professor, man, God bless you, my brother. I'm zooming all that spiritual empowerment right to you, my brother, for whatever going on with you and your family, my friend. So I hold you in high regard. That's why I call you the professor, because you always on point and you're an astute, real person. So please feel free to continue, my friend.
I appreciate that, Q. I really do. I wanted to tell you that you're the first talk show that I've even called into. So you moved me that much.
Thank you, bro.
And I've been listening to all your shows. Doesn't matter what it is. So, and it's kept me going. I mean, the whole family has kept me going the whole time. So I appreciate it. I have to deal with life on life's terms. And now I'm past that. So I wanted to call back now that the season has started. And I wanted to tell you that the thing about with the quarterback position, Q, not only did the Saints miss out on Patrick Mahomes, they also had a chance to draft Deshaun Watson in the same draft.
That's
So
true.
they bypassed. Yeah, remember that. So they chose Marshawn Lattimore over Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
And so they could have had the next one in line. So I wanted to pass that on to you.
You're right.
Yeah, also with the Saints, I agree with an earlier caller that they start off slow all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much we put the pressure on them and think they're gonna do well. They always start out slow. And let's hope that changes this year, that they actually start off with some kind of fire and they do some damage to Tom Brady and company. And because it's going to be hard for Tom and them to get their act together because they don't have any cohesion, nothing.
Right.
So the Saints, they at least they do. They brought pretty much everybody back. So my concern is going to be the offensive line because I was not happy with them drafting Ortiz and then thinking they're going to put him at the guard position. That was a waste of time. I really do. When they could have easily drafted other people, but that's who they chose. Is they wanted to move Ortiz to center and move McCoy to guard. I can't understand that at all. So if they're going to draft the center, they should have drafted Jump from LSU. They should have drafted him and moved him to guard or one of the two, because Castleberry already knew the offense. So they didn't have to do any training with him. They could just put him in and get to rolling. But Sean can do it. Sean does what he wants to do. And the things you've been talking about the last few weeks about Sean wanting to run, Sean don't want to run the ball. He wants to throw the ball. He thinks a screen pass or a short pass is good as a run.
Yep.
And my question is why pay all that money to Latavius Murray if they're not going to use him?
Yep.
And then why pay Kamara all that money when they're not going to use him either? That's just a waste of time. And they could draft any running back, put him back there because he's not going to run the ball. He's going to put Drew back there and have Drew throw 50 times. So I mean, we're dealing with the same issue with Sean, is that his ego gets in the way. The problem is that he's not going to turn those play calling duties over to his offense coordinator until all these hotshot offense coordinators go away. Like Bruce Arians is his competition, or McVay in LA is his competition. The guy in San Francisco is his competition.
Shanahan.
So that's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah, Shanahan. That's the problem with Sean, is he won't fire his ego. He won't. He will not fire his ego, to the point where Joe Brady went to Carolina and they're gonna run the same offense that the Saints gonna run, the same thing.
Yep. And
when he could easily kept Joe in New Orleans. So our thing is that Sean's got to fire his ego. If he fires his ego, he's gonna be all right, but he won't. So my take is I've always thought that Sean should turn those play calling duties over to an offensive coordinator and just step out of the way. Because what happens is he gets too involved into the game, starts getting mad, and then he starts basically trying to get cute and trying to show people up. And he needs to really fire his ego.
Yep. Brother Ernest, you hitting on the great points, man. I mean, I forgot about the Deshaun Watson move, and when he came out of Clemson, and the thing was when it mentioned about the Lamar Jackson thing, when the Saints moved up, gave multiple picks to move up to get him. I thought the move would be for Lamar Jackson, being that they had Drew there. one more year and they can just hand the reins over to Jackson. But the cold part about it is that Davenport will always be judged based on Lamar Jackson's success. So as long as Lamar Jackson, because you got to look at it, the Saints forever tied to him because Davenport, they moved up and they had Jackson on the board and they took Davenport. And people like, man, because me included, I was watching that draft and I was like, man, the Saints moved up. Lamar Jackson is still on the board. And I'm like, they need a future quarterback. They're going to make the move because he passed up on Mahomes. Jackson is there. And everybody and his mama knew that Jackson was going to be a quality quarterback in the NFL. For 2 years before he got there, what he was doing over there in Louisville, I knew that he was going to be, his game would translate to the NFL. And it did. You know, he'll get better as he gets older in the system, but that's been his progression. He's a smart man. That dude is very athletic. He's a guy. He does it the right way. Trust me, he's going to get better. Mahomes is special, but so is Lamar Jackson. You didn't get too many of them, but you had an opportunity to align yourself with certain people. Davenport's injuries history, Big Rob called it. Big Rob said that the man was hurt, and I called it on the show. I said, yeah, the Saints knew he was hurt. They drafted him hurt. And then 2 days after they drafted him, he had surgery on his hand. Check the receipts. You know, so I mean, he's been hurt. And then he was hurt the first year, and he was a backup to Okafor that year and still got hurt. The next year when he was the starter, he got hurt. You know, but people got to keep it real, man. That's what it's about. Another thing Rob said that I like, Brother Ernest, is the fact that he said about being a fan. And I don't like to call the family members fans. I call them family members. To get away from the fanatical mindset of a person and that mentality who you can't engage with them logically about sports or any type of commentary. It's almost like it's some type of off-brand brainwashing. No, in fact, it is to be a fan because you're emotionally involved to the point where your logic that detached away from the topic of football, Saint football. You know, and that's what I said, the Great Saint. That's why we termed it the Great Saint Think Tank, because this is a think tank, which is a collage. You can't come in here with emotionalism. I'll eat your ass up in here. Excuse my French. But this is a thinking forum, and people are allowed to share these good thoughts. And just like Big Rob and yourself did, I respect that 3 or 7-fold. But Brother Ernest, you're absolutely right about everything you're saying, man. Sean Payton has to fire the ego. I love that saying. He has to fire the ego, and he has to do it. Now, let me pick your brain, Professor, because remember 5 days when Drew was hurt, the 5 games that Teddy Bridgewater came in here, Sean Payton did run the ball. So, you know, he has the ability to a degree to turn it off and on like a light switch. But in those 5 games, he didn't have Drew. And then a few of them, he didn't have Alvin Kamara, but they were able to win with him running the football. And the thing is, my mentality is, in this upcoming season is, the reason why he changes that mentality is because he's dealing with a do-or-die situation. He knows that he has to help 2 big things. Drew retires after this year, and 2, he's 41 years old. You can't expect him to wing the flipping thing around 40 times a game, and he's 40 years old. You're going to have to use the running. You're going to have to win as a team now. You can't expect Drew to carry the team on his back like he did for over 10 years now. The team has to win in all phases, including the offense has to bring the running game in there, and that should be the central part of this whole deal. The man's 41 years old. You have to bring the running game in there. So that's my mentality in that way. And Brother Ernest, the Sun Gun has 4 running backs on the active roster: Kamara, Murray, Montgomery, and Washington. And he's using Josh Hill as a fullback. So that, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the tea leaves, and it's looking like that could be a component. But coming into this first month, until that offense, that passing game gets where it needs to be, like it takes 3 weeks, that running attack has got to be in there. What's your thought process on what I just said there, Brother Ernest?
My thought process, Q, is that he said in Minnesota that he was going to run Latavius Murray, and he never did. How many times he promised that he's going to run the ball, he's going to run somebody, and he never runs anybody? He never does that. He has his one person. It was Michael Thomas. Before then, it was Jimmy Graham. He has no intention of running. He can have 10 running backs, Q, but he will not run anybody. He won't. He will not do it. That's why Reggie Bush said he got to get out of there. That's why Mark Ingram, you notice that miraculously he goes to Baltimore and he starts running the ball better than he did in New Orleans.
He does look good in that Baltimore offense, yeah.
He does because Sean will deviate from deviate from the plan. He'll come in all the time and say, "I'll run the ball." The last time he ran the ball was in Buffalo. Remember when he ran it 40 times?
Yep.
And that was the last time he concentrated on the run. Because the only time he concentrates on a run, Q, is when he's down 14 points or down 21 points. Then he'll start running the ball. That's it. That's it.
Yep,
So, I mean,
start running the ball just enough to open up his passing attack so he can start throwing it again.
Exactly. So the bottom line is that you were right about with Teddy Bridgewater because he didn't have confidence in Teddy. Basically, he could sit down and let Drew just run the offense and let Drew do whatever he wants to do.
Yep.
But he's got to take the play calling back, and he's got to run the ball. If Drew wants to basically survive this year, they're going to have to run. I agree with you. And if you're going to have 4 running backs, you got to go back in and hand the ball off. And I don't mean hand it to Kamara up the middle because that's where he got his knee injury. Remember, you were talking about that last year. You were talking about why they're running him up the middle. It's going to get him hurt.
Yep.
And what did Alvin say? He hurt his knee.
Yep.
So I mean, he has a big. Yeah, exactly. Because he never uses a fullback. Whenever he does, they gas the defense for 10 yards at a pop. Anytime he uses a fullback. So I mean, my thing is that I agree with you. He's got to basically use the running game. And Carmichael, you notice that when Carmichael's had the offensive play calling, he's run the ball a lot. And he just needs to turn it over to Carmichael and just step out of the way. Because Andy Reid does it. And he talks about he wants to be a disciple of Andy Reid, and he needs to go and let him run the ball. Then don't pay Latavius Murray all that money. Definitely don't pay Kamara all that money because it's like he's just throwing money away.
Yeah, it's you, Brother Ernest, as usual, you're on point, man, with sobering reality information. You know what I'm saying? That's like, listen, this is the year, and I'm just happy to be a part of so many realistic family members, man, that are holding this team and the coach and everybody is accountable because for far too long we've been letting them make it. We done gave them a 10+ year cushion after that Super Bowl win of 2009. And to the point where even the television people are spinning it around. They play it on television. They playing like the old games and celebrating the wins of the wins of the past. And you come to the future, and we went in 13 back-to-back, 26 games in 2 years with no hardware. And just banners about NFC South crowns and all that, man. We got to keep it real, man. And I appreciate that, Brother Ernest, that you're a part of that movement, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Q, I always say that the problem with people really feed into the ego is they're reading their own press clippings. Yeah. And that's all Sean's doing is reading his own press clippings. We know that he's the first coach to win a Super Bowl. That's great. But this is I like what you said a few weeks ago. This is a new decade. We can't live in the past. And we're not living, he's not going to get an award for a Lifetime Achievement Award for doing this. There's no Lifetime Achievement Awards. Bottom line is we got to move forward. And and I know Drew got all these records, but there comes a time. It's an expiration date on everything. And it's time for Drew. It's time either Drew to step up or him to move on. And if Sean wants to hold on to him, he can go too. And I mean that. He can go too because we got a lot of talent. A lot of talent. We drafted a lot of good players. And they're just wasting their good years. Like Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan's wasted all those good years when he should have had a couple Super Bowls. So I mean, I agree with you totally. We have got to move past that and move forward. and we can't just keep holding on to 2009. Who cares? This is a new time in our existence. So we need to just move forward.
You're absolutely right. You are spot on, Professor, as usual, man, and you're right.
I appreciate it. One last thing, Q, and I'll let you talk to somebody else, is that we need to check also Aaron Glenn. And I mean that because the secondary, they're not even improving at all. I mean, you got Marshawn Lattimore, you got Marcus Williams, and I agree with you. There's no sense in a free safety that can't tackle. He's a last
line of defense.
He's last line of defense, and we are concerned. We're concerned that this guy is tackling with his shoulders, not wrapping up, grabbing the guy's helmet. It's embarrassing.
It is.
And they talking about that we need to keep him because he's at 23.
You started out to tackle when you had 13, 8.
I agree. I mean, we're paying him a lot of money. I mean, the bottom line is that they got to put another free safety back there. And Malcolm Jenkins, they shouldn't be bringing Malcolm Jenkins in here to train him how to play football. When you had Von Bell, who could tackle, the ball finds him, but you're gonna bring somebody who's 8 years older than him for the Saints. I mean, the problem with Malcolm Jenkins is he was taking bad angles when he was here. Then all of a sudden he goes to Philadelphia, he learns how to play. This might be just like Patrick Robinson when they brought him back.
I hope
he said he got better. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you bring these guys back, and that's the problem. That's the reason they let him go to where it goes, because he took such horrible angles. He did.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is that we got to check Aaron Glenn because he's coaching these guys back there. And they're talking about having communication issues. They were arguing in Minnesota.
I remember that.
And then we need to check these coaches because the coaches are the ones that putting these players in these positions.
Yeah, that's true. That Brother Ernest, that definitely is something said. I've say a few things about Aaron Glenn. I don't often criticize him too much. I always go at Dennis Allen, but you're absolutely right. That you keep throwing up and rehashing these players, and we talk about Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams, throwing him up here, and Patrick Robinson, who 33 years old, has several injuries last year. Like, these are the guys that's solid role players. I'm like, no, these are not solid role players. You won't trick me or gaslight me into thinking that these guys are solid role players when they can't stay on the field and they're prone to make stupid decisions and plays constantly. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. But you're absolutely right. Marcus Williams, for him to come out and say what he said about he got to learn to tackle better in the 4th year of being here as the last line of defense, that is all you need to know about what are we doing here. I mean, this kid, like, it showed, it was a red sign when he closed his eyes and launched himself at the Stephon Diggs in the Miracle, and then what he did against the 49ers, and that was like, man, this dude just goes like brain neutral, at the most crucial plays, and that's a red flag out of big, super, ginormous red flag, man.
And also Eli Apple too. Eli Apple did not improve when he got here. He didn't. He lost all his confidence, every last bit of it. So we had to go get Janoris Jenkins.
Yep.
I mean, so the only person that we have back there is Marshawn Lattimore. We got to pay him an arm and leg to keep him. So I mean, you got to look at these coaches, and everybody's blaming Dennis Allen. He got his issues too, but I mean, the bottom line is that Dennis Allen's not coaching these corners and safeties. It's Aaron Glenn, and I know people hold him in high regard, but if your team is getting toasted at the end and they're playing out of position, you got to look at the coaches.
Yep.
You can't be look at the players, because the players can only be in position that the coaches put them in.
Yep.
So, and I think a big loss also, Q, is Mike Nolan. That's a huge loss.
Yeah, that is.
That's a huge loss. And I always believe that he should have been a defense coordinator instead of Dennis Allen. So, and that's all I got to say, Q. But I appreciate the encouraging words and the words of support. So I appreciate it.
Well, appreciate you too, Professor, and much love to you, my friend. And thank you for calling, man. And please feel free to call a little bit more. Good to always hear your raw commentary and commonsensical standpoint, man, as usual. So it's as always an honor to talk to the professor.
It's my pleasure, Q. I feel like a student because you got a lot to offer, man. There's a lot of stuff that you talk about, both sports and away from sports, especially, that I dial into, and I'm sitting there just shaking my head like this brother knows exactly what he's talking about. And I tip my hat to you because you're very knowledgeable about a lot of things, man, a lot of things. So I wanted to tell you that I'm supporting you because as you see my name goes across the screen, I'm supporting you through the platform. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brother Ernest, Professor. Once again, my man, appreciate you, bro. You stay blessed, my man. Much love and blessings to you. And we'll talk later, friend.
Oh, God bless, man.
Who that?
Who that?
That's the professor chiming in right there, man. The professor of the Great Saint Think Tank. We also have the historian, Uncle Paulie, as well. Is another. We got professionals. We had Dr. Key. We got we got the whole community here in the Great Saint Think Tank. The Who That Nation is in the building. All right, family. Thank you for having being patient and holding on the line. Who's on the line?
What'd you say, Q?
There he is, the historian. Just like Uncle Paul is in the building, just like I said so. And there's the historian. So we had the professor, and then here go the historian. How you doing there, Brother Paul?
I'm doing good, Q. The Saints need that all this foolishness. Oh, don't get me started.
Well, brother, go ahead on and tell them about it, Brother Paul. What you got?
I think they're going to have to send Sean Payton down there on Chapatulis. And you know, they're like the old saying, I have known to find myself. If and when I come back, keep me here. You know, it's just something going on around here, Q. I don't like how I'm feeling. You got the team all herky-jerky, but he need to get a reality check. What you think, Q? I'm fired up.
Yeah, Uncle Paul, you is fired up, man. He definitely need a reality check, man. The professor came on here and lambasted them with sobering commentary, man. Big Rob was dropping some jewels early on too. Brother Freddie, Cedric came on. He got the party started. But man, let me tell you something, man.
We won't, Q. We won't go the same. We didn't figure Sean Payton out. You done taught us, Q. What you think?
But I mean that's and you know what though, Brother Paul, it's always been there. There's always been an element of the family members that have said for years, man, listen, we're gonna point at the head of the top because this is not right. You can't say 11 wins in the championship. Now we were patient. We are patient people as Saints people. We are. You start off the 11 after 3 back-to-back dismal 7-9 seasons. You win 11 games. You get up to the divisional round. You have that horrible loss to Minnesota. Okay, we had to eat that whole summer. We was pissed. We come back the next year. The next year we get 13 wins. We go against the Los Angeles Rams in the Dome. 1 win gets you into the Super Bowl against the Patriots. What happens? Drop touchdown pass from Dan Arnold. Several times you blew short yardage plays where you can gain when you was 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Several times that happened where you could have converted, got more downs and ate the clock up, could not convert. So we gave that turnovers.
All the penalties on defense and offense.
That's right. The penalties, the turnovers. They had turnovers in that game as well. And then you're going to sit up here and point at the referee? So 13-3, we fall out the floor and lose. The guy didn't get a call. Then there's this whole thing about people suing them. Everybody dropped their lawsuits except for one dude in Mandeville who really had a shot because he put his lawsuit under a certain amount of money that he had an opportunity to make it through. He then pulls his lawsuit down, talking about he didn't want to be a distraction to the team. Are you kidding me? And then we come into the 13-3 year of last year in a humiliating loss to the Minnesota Vikings in the Superdome. Once again, you lose in the Dome, and who you gonna blame that on? Well, the referee Q didn't call when the guy pushed P.J. Williams. The referee didn't. It cost the referee ain't call. I keep telling y'all that. When y'all gonna start listening, everybody? Most of the family members listening. but some people ain't listening. You can't count on the referees to win no games, to help you win no games. You can't do it.
Right.
You have to go out there and win the game straight up and take the referee completely out of the equation. That's how it goes. And people not ready to, a lot of people not ready to hear that, but over the last 3 playoff traumas, because that's what it is, and torture that we done seen, now everybody started to say, well, Q, it might be something to what you've been saying over these years. We might need to start lending the ear. You know why they listening? Because they tired of listening to the same old garbage that WWL and all these other clowns out here running around, and the ESPN and all these other people talking about. Because they ain't trying to.
Like they on the take.
They ain't trying. They definitely on the take, brother Paul. If they ain't getting money, they getting something because they not telling the truth on what's going on with this team. They're leaving it at the epidermis level, and they're not getting down to the real nitty and gritty. They say, "Well, I know you're upset, but you know, Saints are gonna make it out, and next year is a different year." While they continually peeling off money off of you, while you continually paying for the dome and paying for the lights and paying for the water and paying for everything. And I keep telling y'all that, man, listen, you're not just some fan that's standing around. You a goddamn stakeholder in this team. Your money going to the buildings that you paid for, the facility that they practice out of. You paid for all that over there. Before that, ask Uncle Paulie the story. Them suckers was playing out of trailers somewhere. They were playing out of trailers out there, broken down ass trailers. And that was the taxpayer money, $200 or $300 million that built that facility by them railroad tracks out there on airline. I'm telling y'all, man.
I think they had some offices over there at LSU Stadium, and business said this gets too small for me. I ain't used to this.
Right. Them people's all over the place, man, till they had a real practice facility. They were practicing over here. They were practicing over there. They were practicing up here, up north in Minnesota somewhere. They was out all over, all in California until all that got done. So I'm saying, man, the bottom line is, you got to get to a point in reality where reality got to hit you. If you want to be a fan, listen, man, I say stop using the term fan, because fan is short for fanatic. You ain't nobody's fanatic. You ain't no football fanatic. You are in control. Fanatic means you are just crazy and ravenous behind whatever you going after. No, you got control over here. You are in the catbird, so you are in control of the whole goddamn apparatus. And I'm telling people out there, just like our predecessors got tired of the Saints falling through the floor, hiring terrible coaches and bringing cheap stuff up in here and protecting them, the predecessors got upset to the point where they threatened them that, listen, you gonna make this team win, or you can take this goddamn team out of here. They were that upset. They don't want a losing ass product when you want to. And guess what Tom Benson did? Tom Benson said, "Hey man, they serious." So he started hiring better coaches and started hiring better people to start opening up the money and all that. That was not because of them. That was because of your predecessors and the people that was tired of the losing. So you going to then spit in their faces and all of the movements that they made, the disgust that they had, because the disgust that we have ain't even a fraction of the cost, the disgust that the people when we was wearing brown bags on our goddamn heads watching football or have to watch the games on the radio. You turn on the TV waiting for the game, and this game will not be seen. It's blacked out. And you got to turn on the radio. How many games I remember sitting there with my daddy sitting up there listening to the Saints on WWL radio. I mean, all the time, people out there,
right there with
man, come on, man. Don't talk to me about no Saints. I know all about the Saints, and I'm telling y'all, for those who don't know about days when you had to listen to the Saints on the radio and all that kind of stuff, you better listen
Jim Henderson and Archie Manning.
Straight up. I'm trying to tell you. The bottom line is those people are part of that movement was the reason why you have a championship team, because they threatened Benson to take his team and get out of here, and he was threatening to move them before Katrina, and it came to a stalemate. He wanted a brand new stadium, and the people's like, we're not giving you no brand new stadium. The dome is good enough for you. If you want to lose, you can lose your ass in the dome. That's what they were saying. He wanted suites and all that. They said, we ain't giving you that because you can't even win. And then the politician said, hey, we're going to give it to him. The people said, you bet not give him that stadium. We're going to run you out of here. And they didn't give it to him. And then Katrina happened, and it all changed because they say, okay, we got a blueprint now. Now we can use all this extra money to fix it up the way we want to. And they still doing that now. They got over $100-something million renovation on the dome right now to put solar panels all up in there, man. To move out the stairs and put escalators and all. Man, just your money. Just spend it.
For what?
Just spend your money. Just spend it. Just spend your money.
Need to get another Super Bowl banner hung up there. That's what they need to be concerned about.
That's what you need to do.
Institution the problem. that's going on there in Atlanta. I'm like you, Q. I'm getting fed up. I really am. I'm getting fed. But you know what, Q? I hate to say it. I'm kind of glad COVID-19 that I was a great Saints fan and sitting up in that dome and watch that foolishness this year. Cause this just don't make no sense, Q. It just really don't. Just like Miss Tara said a couple of weeks ago, we watching this team. It ain't got on the field yet, Q, and we see this team continually going in reverse, going backwards. It just don't make no sense. And like it just starts at the top. It starts with Sean Payton. It's just like Q. It's just like he just made up his mind. You know, I make the decision. I run this. Whatever I put on the field, y'all just gonna have to live with. No, that's not how it's gonna go, Q. Cause it ain't gonna last like that. I'm telling you, we ain't gonna keep putting up with this. What you think?
I mean, it's a contingent of us that won't. They got a lot of people that still just believe in abusive relationships, obviously. And I know I'm not one that believe in an abusive relationship. If you gonna listen I'm just saying if you're a Saints person and you're a Saints family member, you are more than just some fan. Your money and your money goes to the team, and you're not paying the team to lose. That's the bottom line. If you're gonna represent the family base, you're going to represent them correctly, and you're going to make them look good. Nobody wants to represent somebody losing. And most of the time, you're losing because you're not taking what you're doing seriously. You're losing because you have a degree of incompetence. You have a degree of not keeping it real, because there's more than enough design out there to learn how to build the correct organization to win. Making the right decisions in the draft, making the right decisions in free agency, and keeping, and above all, having the right leader that can keep himself in check. And if he can't do that, have advisors around him that can keep him in check, and allowing that to happen. Now, I've had media members that come on here, like I like Bob Rose. Certain people I deal with, I don't deal with everybody, but certain people I like because I like their commentary. I like how Bob Rose in the Sports Illustrated camp, Kyle T. Mosley, and the rest of them, how they do their thing. They keep it real. They keep it real. They keep it real. That's why I deal with them. I don't deal with everybody else. But the reality is, because a lot of times I see the perpetuation of the nonsense out there. It's like, regardless or not, if they good or bad, I'm going to ride with them. Listen, that's what you're going to do anyway. But listen, nobody consciously sits up there and says they're going to be a part of the dysfunction and stupidity, and then sit there quietly while it goes on. So you gonna allow them to abuse you like that? I mean, listen, let me tell you something. I should be getting checks directly from the Saints. How I be dealing with all these Minnesota Vikings and all these other people come on this channel and sending messages and all this kind of stuff dealing with me. Oh man, it's the scolds. I get the scolds. I'm tired of the damn scolds. But I'm getting the scolds and everything from all these damn people. Like I'm on the team plan, and I'm tired of it, man. I'm sitting up here getting scolded like that. And let me tell you something. When that happened last year, when the Saints lost the Minnesota game, man, I got it handed to me by Minnesota Vikings people through comments and emails and all that stuff. They was going off, and I was like, man.
The way you would look at on that live stream when you watching the game, that's how we were feeling, Q. We were right there with you.
Man, let me tell you, Brother Paul, man, it was letting me have it, bro. And then what happened was, after that, the next week, Sean Payton took a plane to San Francisco to commentate, to be an analyst on the San Francisco and Minnesota Vikings playoff game the next week after he lost that game to the Vikings at the Dome. And I'm like, how dare this dude take his big cheek, young Frankenstein-looking tail down there to San Francisco to call that game, and this team failed miserably. So you gonna tell me that you gonna go down there and talk for them people and tell the Niners or how to beat the Vikings and the Vikings to beat the Niners, and you couldn't do it? Thank you, Adrian. Appreciate you, baby, for the super chat. Thank you. And that just like, man, that's a major conflict of interest. And I'm sitting up here saying, man, these Vikings people tearing me up with comments and everything. And this clown over there doing the analyst work on it. Oh, are you serious? His ass should have been in that building finding out why they lost. That's what he should have been doing. And that was a bet. And I just talked about optics. We talked about optics. Did that look right to any one of you out there? And they said, well, Q, he could do whatever he want. Yeah, he could do whatever he want, but he also could have did the right thing, which is take his stinking ass down to that building and find out why that team fell apart. Find out why they were fussing at each other on the sideline. Find out why they was missing tackles. Find out why they was missing blown coverages. Find out why the offensive line underperformed. Find out why the defensive line couldn't provide pass rush or stop the run. Find out what he did. Took a plane trip to San Francisco to commentate the next game. A lot of people don't even know that. Hold on, Brother Paul, for a second. We got another call on the line. Thank you for calling the Great Saint Think Tank family. Who's on the line?
It's K-Dot.
I mean, one more time, brother. I didn't hear you. Your phone dropped out.
You hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Now, what's your name?
This Savage.
Savage. Okay, K-Dot. Okay. I got you, bro. I'm sorry, man. Your phone kept having a fuzzy sound every time you say your name. K-Dot Savage. Okay, hold on, brother. Good to hear. Thank you for calling, man. We got Brother Paul ahead of you. He gonna vent himself, and then I'll get you in there, my brother. Go ahead, Brother Paul.
Oh yeah, and just like that's called the Saints ain't savage. Q, they ain't got no killer instinct. You know, Sean Payton get like an old person. You ever see the old person just get 72, 75? You know, they got good old stuff, but they get kind of senile. Q, their steps are getting short. They, you know, they get about the rocket chair. Everybody in the house can hear them. Oh. That's how Sean Payton mind getting. He gets senile, Q. He like somebody, you know, it's like the old captain, the ship's sinking. I'm going down the ship, Captain. Get off the ship. No, that's my ship. If it's going down, I'm going down. Is you crazy? Something wrong with you? I mean, you know, he like a mad scientist and he done flipped out. Somebody got to get him, Q. Sit him down. He going crazy. Look out. That's how he kills you. And he killing our Super Bowl chances. He don't seem to realize that, Q, or he don't care. Now, which one is it? You don't see it or you don't care. And I'm kind of starting to think, Q, you don't care. Because like you said, he got too comfortable. That nest is too soft up under him. They need to let Miss Gail Benson need to move some of that stuff and let them phones start sticking him, get him out that nest and get us another Super Bowl. What you think, Q?
I mean, comfortability is definitely, he got a high degree of comfort here. And also a high degree of, and I've said this before, he needs more accountability to that point to keep it real with you, man. He got to have more accountability. And Brother Ernest, the professor, laid it out. He says that he should have given up the play calling duties to Pete Carmichael. I don't understand why Carmichael's not calling the plays, because that'll give more of accountability. That'll force him, like if something goes wrong, we can say, okay, we're looking at the coordinator here. We need to see why he's not running the ball or what have you. But nobody is challenging Sean Payton in that team. So if he screws up or he does whatever he wants, nobody but the Great Saint Think Tank and the Who That Nation that care to will challenge him. Thank you, GM Kev. Thank you. He says, pass the collection plate and
somebody
see
need a lot of fire. Dennis Allen, too. Dennis Allen is too comfortable on that other side, too. I really believe that.
Well, that's because of Payton afforded him that comfortability. That's the bottom line to the whole matrix is Sean Payton's boy is Dennis Allen. But the thing is, listen, we need the thing I'm pushing is accountability. Listen, that's all I'm saying. We need accountability. And you can't have Sean Payton running around overriding the medical staff on some of these players that's supposed to be set down. In Davenport, it's cool that he's shut down because we can't risk no more. I mean, his psychic, man, to me, it's got to be difficult. Every year he's dealing with injuries, and not like you have some guys like Andrews freaking Pete for goodness sake has a busted hand, a busted thumb, but he's starting the game and he just discovered that injury 2+ weeks ago. 2+ weeks ago is not enough to overcome a broken thumb.
You know how hard it is for a lineman to use his hands. That's what he get paid for, Q, to use his hands. You know how hard it is going to be blocking them Buccaneer defensive tackles and ends coming at him. He gonna have to be a real man. So that thumb gonna be hurting some kind of point.
They gotta shoot it up, and they gonna shoot it up, and that show you that he playing with pain, man. He playing with pain. But Andrews Pete is soft though. I gotta keep defending Pete on this show. Oh, Q, Andrews Pete soft. He always hurt. Yeah, he gets hurt, but guess what? He plays with his injuries. Davenport is a guy that's hurt right now, has an elbow. I don't know how bad the elbow is, but if you shoot the elbow out, it's pretty bad if he can't play with a bruised or whatever it is. And they're going to sit him down. And I think to this point, they're going to play whatever comes with Davenport with kid gloves. You got to. And that's why I was saying that you get a veteran guy in there so the weight don't fall on those guys that's not used to have that weight on them. That's commonsensical. Trey Hendrickson is hurt. He gets hurt, and he hasn't played as much as he's supposed to play. I consider him a bust of a defensive lineman. I'm sorry. He's been hurt too damn much.
The jury's out. He's not out. He ain't on him.
Right.
Yeah,
it's done deal. He's in the final year of his contract. He hadn't done a damn thing but get hurt. And he gets fired up, and then he gets hurt, and then he's done for the year. Now, and then Granderson, I get a lot of high side from Granderson, but he's still a question mark. So where do you go from a experience standpoint that you can rely on just in case those things don't work out? Where's your insurance? Well, guess what? We tried to get insurance called Jadeveon Clowney, but I guess we're only interested in expensive policies. We don't like to go and shop to see if we can find a competitive rate. Oh, God, goodness, no. And then the next move after getting rid of Jadeveon Clowney is going to sign this Willoughby kid. And I'm just like, is he going to be on the practice squad? On the starting roster? No, practice squad. So you go from starter, trying to get a starting level defensive end to go on top of Davenport to go and picking up a practice squad player to go on the practice squad. Oh, the diversity in between the decision making is dumbfounded to me. Because if you can go out and get a guy like Clay Matthews, you can sell him, you can get him for a couple $1 million. You wouldn't have to turn your roster upside down and redo contracts and work some old NBA style trade scenarios that never worked in the NFL for you to get some type of dude to help you. I mean, what's the problem here? But we'll see how it shakes. And I keep saying year after year, because people must be forgetting that I've been watching this team for over 30 years, been covering them for over 5. And when you do that, you pick up trends that you see that happens, and you try to call them out. That hopefully that things will change before they go through it. But I've seen this movie before, and I kept saying the whole damn offseason about Davenport and need to work him in there slowly because his body's not made for that. He picked up weight, and yes, he did. But you have to work that guy in there slowly, man. And we'll see, bro. We'll see once again.
And you know what, Q? Sean Payton driving the boys too hard at practice. You know, Moore had that fault in Ditka too. You can't drive them. These guys is 25 to 30-something years old. You can't keep doing them like that 2 and 3 a day. That don't make no sense to me, Q. What you think?
He's doing as much as they're allowing him to do. You know, that's all a part of this new agreement that came that they agreed to. And he's doing what they're allowed to do. And he knows he has to get every bit of practice squad practice time out of this team because they didn't have any preseason games, and he's got to do what he got to do to get that team ready. But insofar as that, I understand that. But a lot of the veteran guys that are going to play the more impactful starters, like the Drew Breeses, should have got a little bit more time. You didn't have to shit Drew Brees for 3 and 4 straight days at the back end of the training camp. You should have let him get up in there and get more time, so that it'll be a little bit more easier for him coming into week 1. Because without the preseason, and then, by the way, we don't play our starters in these preseason games anyway. You probably would have seen Drew Brees a total of 3 quarters in the preseason had there been a preseason. So if that's the case, if that much. So I would have liked to seen Drew in the starting offense and a little bit more in the practice session to kind of get that going, because the offense, I ain't like how the offense looked entirely in practice. But we'll see how it's shaking out. I was watching Tom Brady's practice sessions, by the way. I've been watching them and viewing them. I've been doing my little scout work, looking at Tom Brady and them practicing, and then looking at our practices and saying, see if we can pick up on something. They look a lot crisper. And I'm going to just keep it real, because I was looking at their practices and our practices, and we didn't look, our offense ain't where it's supposed to be, and very few offenses fire out the gate like that. Very few of them do. It usually take a few weeks for them to gel. But I was watching the Brady's practices for all it was concerned and comparing the two, and they do look crisp. So if that means anything to you, it means something to you. But at the end of the day, all of it is still scout work, and you looking at your opponent to see what they look like.
You took the words out of my mouth. That's another problem I see with that team. Some of them scouts and player personnel need to be put on the street. What you think?
We've gotten a little bit better, man. I think they have to listen to the scouting report. Like, you had several games last year where they didn't pay attention to the scouting report. You know, the 49ers game, they ignored the hell out of the scouting report. Sean Payton was in there he was thumping his chest like Jeff Charleston, trying to beat down Shanahan, trying to outscore him, and that was stupid. The only thing he had to do was run the ball and control the clock, and he would have won that game by at least 10 points. The Minnesota game was a clear example of him ignoring the scouting report. We covered it 2 shows before the actual game took place, while I was reading the scouting report on air and breaking the scouting report down. And I knew Sean Payton had the scouting report because it came from his scouters. The next game, when he lost the Minnesota game and went to that divisional game to be an analyst on the 49ers and Vikings game the next week after losing, he gave them the scouting report that the Saints had. So I knew he was aware of it, and I was trying to find that video. I can't find that nowhere, so I could play it for the family members to say, see, he knew what he was supposed to do. He just didn't do it.
Down, Keith. They don't want to replay. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Next time I know
the video department took it down. You right.
Next time I know better. I wish I was looking for it.
It's hard-headed, Q, but you know what Grandma used to tell us? A hard head make a solve you know what.
You better believe it.
And that's what he's going to find out this right off the bat, Q. I can understand if this was Detroit or the Cleveland Browns, which they've gotten better too, but you going against Tampa Bay. I mean, you know, that'd be just like starting off in Minnesota, and you know how we feel about them.
Right.
You can't go out there and do all this up and down. You already got players hurt, Q, and you ain't even played your first game. I'm questioning the strength and conditioning department. I'm like, what is y'all really going? It's Super Bowl or bust, but they do a lot of buster moves, Q. I'm just sorry, but it's true.
I mean, but it don't even have to be that way, though, Brother Paul. It don't have to be. I mean, if you know you're dealing with injuries, you can get in the best way to kind of brace that. Like when we had Nigel Bradham. Nigel Bradham was a smart decision to sign him because he provides depth behind if something would have happened to Alex Anzalone or Demario Davis.
Right.
There were, Craig. I like Craig. Craig is a good linebacker, but Craig is older. He's slower. He can't cover the guys. He can come in there and give you a little something, but no, athletic wise, he's not what not even close. So I mean, he'll become a liability in passing situations.
Right. He won't be able to keep up with Gronkowski.
No, absolutely not. He'll be barbecue chicken on Gronkowski. But the thing is, like, if you was dealing with injuries, and some of these guys, they have a track record of being injured, and they're prone to injury. You have to cover these guys with good veterans that can come in and keep the ship going and provide production, not just the warm body. Listen, we got depth, and I hear what people saying depth. But it's a difference between depth and productive depth. You got to be able to have guys that can come in and make some things happen, not just sit up there and take open a spot. You need guys that's going to perform, guys that's going to make tackles, guys that's going to make sacks happen, guys that's going to strip away the ball. You need impact depth, not just a warm body back there. And I'm saying that's what it is.
Between a cheeseburger and prime rib. What you think of that?
Oh, no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Now.
The big difference. But that's what I'm saying, Brother Paul. That's what it comes down to, man. We have a bunch of warm bodies, or do we have some people that's going to make something happen and make something shake here? We've been saying this. We knew all this all the time. It's calling this the entire offseason, man. Do you call this the whole offseason, and then here we is, and then they're going to say, Q, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Oh, well, we got no choice right now, right? You know, we up to the cusp of it now. It's too late to do anything now. The whole damn camp done passed. Yeah, it's up to it now, bro. But yeah, brother Paul. Go ahead, my brother. You can say your thing, my man, and then I'll bring your boy behind him.
Just keep on doing what you're doing, Q. I mean, I really appreciate you don't wear them rose-colored glasses. You call a spade a spade, and I wouldn't, you know, if you did any less, I would wonder, because like I said, Buddy D did put up with their man, Half-Blooded didn't, and I don't expect you to, man. Because right now we hungry, we're primed for another Super Bowl, and it's like Sean Payton to hell with us. You know, that's kind of attitude I'm getting from him. You know, and you know what? It ain't gonna be long. He gonna be on the street. So we getting tired of this, Q. It really is.
I mean, Brother Paul, that's a mouthful, bro. And you in the sentiment of the Who Dat Nation is getting fever pitch, because the bottom line is you got a certain sentiment of people out there that's comfortable and happy with 12 or 13 wins and a playoff berth. But to people that won't win championships, it's not about 13 wins. It's about what comes with the 13 wins. Did you get a championship? If no, we ain't get no championship, then get your ass out of here. I don't want to hear about no 13 wins. We play for championships here. That's what we care about here. This region plays for championships. We're not content, and I keep saying it, and I'm not saying it, and I'm saying it passionately because I'm dead serious about it. And every time I say it, people say they look at the energy and the passion that we're throwing off here and the great Saint think tank, and they say, yeah, he's absolutely right. We play for championships here. We are not the brown bag. Let's get this straight and get it in the book. We are not the brown bag Saints of old. We are the New Orleans Saints championship team that deserve multiple Super Bowl rings. That's what we deserve. But all you've gotten over the last 3 years are disastrous Three Stooges ass football in the playoffs where you've lost in the most ridiculous of ways. The most ridiculous and asinine ways that any Hollywood producer can sit and write down in the script to make. You have lived through it. You have lived through it. You have lived through a guy putting his head down and launching himself blindly at somebody. You've dealt with that. You've dealt with guys that's dropping the passes and touchdown passes and poor performances and mistake-ridden football in the playoffs when you know you're not supposed to be turning the ball over in the playoffs. You know that you're not supposed to be throwing interceptions in the playoffs. You know that if you throw at least 2 interceptions in the playoff, it severely lessens your chances of winning the game. I mean, absolutely Three Stooges ass style football. You know, just eye gouges and buckets on top of the head. Now you walking through doors and buckets of paint falling on your head, people laughing. And it got to the point last year where people was feeling sorry for the Saints. Like, oh, I'm so sorry for you that you the Saints. They was throwing you pity. You are Super Bowl champion. It's just absolutely insane, and we sick of it, man. Ain't no more Three Stooges football in the playoffs here, man. Ain't no more of that. I'm sick of it. But anyway, thank you, Brother Paul, for that, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. You too, my brother. Peace. All right, come on in here, lad. K-Dot. How you doing, brother?
Wow, what's happening? How y'all doing?
Doing good, my brother. Good to hear from you, my man. I'm sorry I'm kind of a little hot under the collar right now, bro. I'm hot.
Me too.
But go ahead on, my brother. What's on your mind, bro?
As soon as I saw Davenport in the injury report, I was pissed off. I said, I can't wait to see this show. I can't wait. It's getting old. Like, how many times we gonna keep getting people in the draft that's hurt? Right. Remember Kikaha?
Yes,
Kikaha. We got him. This dude was hurt 2 years in a row. Yeah. He bust both of his ACL. Like, come on, bro. What we doing?
Yep.
So we basically throwing drafts away. You got people in your backyard that's killing it. LSU killing it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire killing it.
Killing it.
You let old boy go to Baltimore in the draft, you could have got Murray from Oklahoma. You know you need a linebacker. So let's say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go and get Ruiz and let Warford go when Warford was an all-star, a Pro Bowler.
Yep.
Let's get rid of him, who's a veteran, and we're in a win-now mode anyway. Nah, we want a rookie to come up in here. Oh, and now he hurt. Ain't proved nothing. So we going to keep doing this. Everybody fell in love with the Lattimore, the Ramczyk, the Kamara draft. Oh, they fell in love with it. That's getting old now. You had Lamar Jackson that you could have got. You had Danielle Hunter the year that you got Kikaha. You could have got.
Yep.
So it's like, what we doing? What we doing? And we paying people. Why is Easton still got this contract? Why is Pat Robb on the team, period?
Why is P.J. Williams on the team if he ain't a safety?
P.J. should have been gone. And Ernest made a good point about Aaron Glenn, because I feel like I'm the only fan that sit up here and watch these cornerbacks don't turn around at all. At all. Not one of them. Lattimore is probably the only one that would probably turn around or give effort to turn around. PJ is horrible. He gonna tackle you before he turn around. That was the Ken Crawley problem. He'll tackle you before he turn around.
Yep.
That's the most simple thing for a cornerback. Just turn around.
Yep.
These boys give up so many pass interference over simple grade school football plays.
Yep.
And I'm sitting up there just scratching my head like, bro, I'm on the couch right now, and I know I could have got at least 2 picks this game. It hurt, man. Like, and I ain't even talking about the miracle play, but if you watch how Ken Crawley was checking Diggs, wait, before we even go there, Ken Crawley should not have been on that playoff team. And that's what pisses me off also. We don't get the players that, okay, we trying to get a Super Bowl. Let's get the boys that, they ready to play. Let's get some boys that's ready to ball. Nah, let's get this rookie over here. Let's get this guy over here that's been hurt 3 years in a row and see if he can come over here. Chico Alonso. You know this dude gonna get hurt. And we fall in love with these players when they make 1, 2 good plays. We come up here and say, oh, man, but did you see that play he made? No. He out the game right now. We need him now. Davenport. Oh, man, Davenport got 7 sacks, 8 sacks. We need him for the playoffs. Where he at? But then, on the offseason, you got a guy over here in Griffin, you don't want to pay him at all.
$6 million.
Clay Matthews still sitting at home.
For less than 3.
I don't understand it.
But you're gonna try to sign and trade for Clowney though. See that and that's and K Dot, listen, bro. That's what happened, man. Cause I asked the question, listen. Sean Payton's a stubborn dude, man. He's not gonna get up and move unless something's promoting him to move. And that's what promoted him to go and run out after Clowney, because he knew Davenport wasn't going to play in week 1. So he was trying to fill the void with Clowney. But the thing is, he put all his eggs in one basket, something you're not supposed to do. And he did it.
Keeps doing it.
But the thing is, now he feels like, okay, I'm going to make the move. It didn't work. And now I'm going to just rely on Hendrickson, Granderson, and whatever else. But my thing is that's appearing to here, because I'm like, wow, you put this is, and I keep saying this because this is the impact that it had on me. You were negotiating with Alvin Kamara. Still not done, by the way. It was supposed to be done 2 days ago, according to Adam Schefter. We're still ongoing, and tomorrow's the last day before the game. So you're still not done. You push Kamara out of the way, stiff-armed him, and said, hold on.
Exactly.
Pushed him out the way and ran to Houston to go see if you can go pull Clowney in here to start week 1 because you knew Davenport was going to be here. You did that. Failed, came back, still didn't get the deal done with Kamara, and did not still address the need that you felt that you need to do because Davenport wasn't there, which you was going to use with Clowney. But your next residing move was to get Willerby, who's a practice squad player for Baltimore. Did you put Willerby on the active roster? Nope. Willerby's on the practice squad. So how did you make up in your mind that Clowney, if I can't get Clowney, we just go with what we got? Are you serious? Did you not see there's a Clay Matthews, a Jabal Shore, a Ziggy Ansah, a Cameron Wake? There are veterans out there that could help you, that you don't have to get the Cleveland Browns or some other team to do some weird-ass sign and trade move for. You can get these guys for what you got on the contract. You don't have to rework nobody's deals. You don't have to do none of that. But no, Clowney ain't it. We lose Clowney. I don't want nothing. Just go get Willoughby. That absolutely is insane to me that you recognize that there was a need. Did you not understand me, family? He tried to get Clowney because he knew Davenport wasn't going to be healthy. But then he doesn't do anything else. So you're like, okay, if I don't get him, I don't need nobody else. We're going to go with Trey Hendrickson. Man, come on, man. That's not, come on, bro. Come on. Come on. I'm not saying Trey Hendrickson all that bad, but come on, bro. You know what you was trying to do when you was going to get Clowney?
Yeah.
Go ahead, K.
We got Hendrickson hurt every year. Azzaloni, excuse my French. Davenport always hurt. I mean, it's frustrating. Then you kill the morale of Kamara with what you did to him. You kill the morale of Rankins on what you did to him. Oh, yeah, I'm just trade Rankins. But now he back on the team, and he's sitting up there like, what? You want me to play and all this stuff for you now because you couldn't get Clowney. So it's like you killing the morale of the team. Now it's getting old. And it is your offense. You pretty much an offensive coordinator being a head coach. That's what I'm starting to see now. Because you playing games with the other team. The other team coming to kill you. Vikings, he ain't playing no games. That coach over there ain't playing games with you. Every elite team got to have 2 pass rushers. Everybody know that. You want to work on your back end, safeties, cornerbacks. We don't need none of that. You can have all the safety. You can have Tyrann Mathieu. You can have any of them. If you don't have a pass rush, you're going to lose. That's straight up. Trey Hendrickson, Davenport, that ain't the guys that you need on the other side of Cam Jordan if you're trying to get a Super Bowl. Bring a dog up in here. You need dogs. And Zach Bowen, I wish was at least 20 or 30 pounds heavier because the boy's a monster. But is he going to get that opportunity that he deserves? We're going to see how Ellis works. You know, we're going to see how Ellis, if he can cover somebody. But Nigel Bradham leaving, you needed that veteran. You needed him beside DeMario. Alonzo was out. So now you thin. Craig Robinson, great on special teams. That guy can't cover anything.
Right. I mean, he these are one-sided guys, man. Like Craig Robinson, I've been telling family members, they've been trying to get rid of Craig Robinson for the last 7 seasons. They bring a linebacker in here every year to try to get rid of Craig Robinson. And Craig's luck holds out. Like Shaquille was brought in here to run him up to get rid of Craig Robinson because they wanted a more athletic, experienced linebacker who can not only play special teams, but it can help out in the defense if they needed them to. Exactly. And that's what Shaquille was here for. But what happened? Shaquille missed all the camp. He's currently on the practice squad, but Craig Robinson's contract runs out after this year. But behind DeMario Davis and Alex Anzalone, you have a bunch of young guys there, which I want to see. I think they happen. But let me just say this. Trey Hendrickson and Carl Granderson flashed in camp. I hadn't heard a damn thing from Trey Hendrickson. Now, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. This entire training time, this whatever you want to call it, that we went through, talking about the camp or whatnot, I didn't hear a damn thing from Trey Hendrickson. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, like I always do. I'm 100% real deal Holyfield, and I'm telling you to your face, y'all, that I ain't heard a damn thing from Trey Hendrickson. Not a thing. Did you hear anything? Put it in the chat. Yeah, Q, he was tearing it up. You ain't hear nothing. Cut it out.
Nothing. Nope.
Hold on for a second, K-Dot, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Hold on. Okay. I want to hear what you got to say. Thanks for calling the Great Saint Think Tank family. Who's on the line?
Hey, this is Cedric again. I'm just calling back because I want to say something on what you're saying, Big Q, because you are absolutely 100% right. And I also want to say this: when we lose these games, we have to stop blaming Drew Brees. That man is 41 years old. He's dedicated half of his life to nothing but the Saints and New Orleans. We got to start looking at these guys on this defense that hasn't been able to stop a pencil in the playoffs game. I mean, Marshawn Lattimore is easily a top 5 cornerback in the NFL, and he couldn't even stop a guy like Adam Thielen. I mean, Janoris Jenkins had Stephon Diggs on lock, and there was one out in that list. Our Saints fans dream about, Stephon Diggs in their dream. And I mean, we just got to stop blaming Drew Brees when he has done nothing but good for the Saints his whole career, and we need to start blaming this defense and Sean Payton. Because Sean Payton, we have all this money. They can't do nothing. They don't want to pick up no free agents. They just want to pick up these bum players that's been hurt their whole career. I mean, even in college, you could tell that these guys been hurt throughout their college career, but yet you still want to take a chance and draft them, thinking they're going to be different when they get to the NFL. I mean, you got to use common sense, Big Q.
Right.
And you know, we're tired of it. We've had a Super Bowl team for the past 3-4 years. And look where it got us, home, in the first round of the playoff. We've had a first ballot Hall of Famer quarterback for the past couple of years. And look where it got him. Nothing. No rings. All we got is division titles. Ain't nobody really looking at division titles. They looking at championships. That's why they keep on saying that Brady is the GOAT. They not looking at no division titles. They looking at these rings that you go get on your finger. And that's all I wanted to come on here and say. Stop blaming Drew Brees. Drew has done what he can for this team. He dedicated half of his life. He grew his children up down here in New Orleans. I mean, everybody in New Orleans loves Drew. We got to stop blaming Drew. I mean, look at Lattimore. He let Adam Thielen get over 100 yards in the playoffs game. And they ain't said nothing about that. But the first thing they wanted to talk about is that fumble. I'm just tired of it. And anybody say I've been tired of Drew, but they wasn't tired of Drew. They wasn't tired of Drew Brees when he was putting up all them numbers. When he was putting up 5,000 passing yards each and every year, they wasn't tired of it then. So why y'all tired of it now? But that's all I wanted to say, Big Q.
Thank you, Cedric. Appreciate you, my brother. Who that to you? All right, K. Dot, bro.
Who that to you too?
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for letting me call.
Oh, no problem, bro. Anytime. All right, K. Dot. Come on, bro. Come on back with it, my brother.
Yeah, I'm here. It's just it's frustrating, and it feel like we running in circles when it come to what's happening. Cause we getting, oh man, we this regular season finesse team, but playoff times you got to punch them in the mouth. We not doing it. And like Ernest said earlier, we got to run the ball. You had two of the best running backs when it came to Ingram and Kamara, setting records, and you stop running the ball. You want to look pretty? You had Ted Ginn who can't catch a cold.
Right.
I mean, you didn't build the right team. And this is another thing pissing me off too. Like, we don't build for the future. Lamar Jackson would have been building for the future. No, we going to keep Taysom Hill, and we going to hope that Taysom can become a quarterback. And I think that's that Marcus coasting effect. Oh, we got coasting in the 7th round, so I think we could do that with anybody. That's the stubbornness of Mickey Mouse Loomis and Sean Payton. Since we got these dudes in the 7th round, we got these dudes like Pierre Thomas, I think we could do this with anybody. You can't. You throwing away draft picks year after year. Lattimore draft, that great draft. That's probably the only great draft we have ever had in a long time. But it's running out. And it's like, now what's your plan? What you gonna do now? Because you got to resign Lattimore. You got to pay him. I don't know what you're going to do with Marcus Williams. Hopefully you don't resign him. Then Hendrickson got to go. Davenport, what you going to do with him after his 4 years out? So it's like we wasting Cam years. Like the person said earlier, we wasting Cam Jordan years. Right now, Cam should have an elite or somebody who's known on the other side of him. Davenport need to watch. Everybody saying, oh, Davenport got to develop. We don't have time for developing. We 3 years back. We got to catch up. It's time now. We got to punch these dudes in the mouth, bro. And we haven't been doing that. Every other team knows, okay, we got to have a good pass rush. The Eagles, all 4 of them linemen, they had to get. Remember Barnett that they drafted? They had to get better. Kansas City had Clark from the Seahawks. They had to get better. You got to have that line in order to have that defense right. Jamario can't do it all, and he been doing it all for us. Cam can't do it all. He been doing it all for us. If Cam was to sit out with that injury he had, which he should have, which is what I'm pissed off at Sean Payton for also. If he would have sat out, there's no way we would have even had a pass rush without him.
Yeah,
the guys in the middle, they doing good, but no pass rush without him.
K-Dot, you spot on, bro. I mean, Cam Jordan, man, he's been 15 and a half sacks, and I often said, and I keep saying it this year, that if Davenport was healthy for the last month of the regular season, he would have eclipsed 20 sacks last year. I mean, the pressure slid to his side and neutralized him. The Saints wasn't getting any pressure from the opposite side when Davenport left. And Cam was there, and it was no pressure from the opposite side, and teams just doubled, Cam on that other side and neutralize whatever pass rush the Saints thought they were going to do. Yep. So, I mean, it's just amazing, man. But they've been trying to tandem Cam for some while. They tried draft picks. They signed free agents. Okafor signed for a few years. Remember, he was hurt off and on. Even he was good. Yeah, Junior Gillette, he was here. He went crazy when they paid him the money. Started talking out the side of his head. You had other guys, like Glenn Foster, who couldn't stay healthy, was another. George Johnson was another dude that I like. But you had guys that just could not live up to what he represented. And when you get an opportunity to have that many good this year, that many really stellar defensive ends available in the free agent period that just was sitting out there floating in the air. And we do not, and then you wait to the last minute to go and try to get this dude over here from out here in Texas, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah. But at the same time, it's just amazing. Hold on for a second, K-Dot. We got another call on the line, my brother. All right, fam. Thanks for calling the Great Saint Think Tank. Who's on the line?
It's Derek Summerfield. It's Big D.
What up, Big D? How you doing, fam?
I'm doing good. What's happening, man?
All good, my brother. All good. Good to hear from your family. We got K-Dot right ahead of you, Big D. Once K-Dot get done, bring you right on in there, my brother.
All right, 10-4. I'll be right here.
I appreciate you, bro. All right, K-Dot, coming back to you, bro. You right, man. 100% of the ways, man. Yeah. You had this. And listen, and people's gonna be like, oh well, listen, please don't do this. All right, family. Whatever you do, just don't be like, okay, if something don't go your way, just put it in like, okay, well, I'm gonna just throw it in the trash can and just pretend like it didn't exist. Please don't do that.
Exactly.
Please don't do that. Stop doing that if you're doing that. Please stop doing that because you ain't get clowned for a reason. It's a reason for everything. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And it's not like you couldn't have gotten clowny if you'd have moved earlier. It's not like you couldn't have got a better player for the Saints defense that wasn't Clowney. I kept saying it's not Clowney. It's Griffin. You could have got him for the $6 million. You didn't have to flip your team upside down to do it. And I'm saying this because if you're serious about something, if you're serious, like if you're in a marriage, you married, and you and your girl, your wife, or what have you, if you're a female and you got the husband, if you got in a situation and in the marriage, you're all in the marriage, and your spouse keep coming up here at the 12th hour with 12th hour ass gifts for your anniversary and your birthday, how you gonna feel? Is it gonna work for you? Because let me tell you, it's a difference when you go out at the 12th hour looking for a gift and then you end up shopping at the local drugstore as opposed to going down and ordering something nice from the department store. You can tell the difference. The candy from the drugstore is a lot smaller than the candy you're going to get from the store that sells that kind of stuff. You're going to see that some thought was put into this presentation because it took some time to develop it as opposed to somebody throwing some stuff together. And that's what this was. It was a thrown together bunch of nonsense by the team when they should have approached that situation a lot clearer. Now they're going to sit up. Now people going to sit up here and say, listen, family, please don't do this because we're trying to shake this free too. What happened with the defensive end situation, like, well, Q, we going to be fine. Now, where was that thinking before you was chasing Clowney?
Yeah,
you're defaulting to that default thinking now because you didn't get Clowney. But prior to this, a week ago, you was all out for Clowney. Now it's all good. We don't have him. We gonna go what we got. But what we had then wasn't good enough because we was chasing Clowney. Do you see the point what I'm making here? So whatever they were running from to get Clowney, listen to me, family. Hear me on this. Whatever they were running from to try to get Clowney to brace you for, they didn't get rid of it. It's still there. So like I'm saying, please notice and categorize this in your mental card calendar, your card catalog, or, put this in the mental Rolodex, and I keep telling y'all, we're going to come to it and piece it together till later. Because, man, listen, we thinking fans here, man. People just don't go and do stuff just to do it. There's a reason behind everything that's out there. You might not understand it, but there's a reason to everything that's out there. Go ahead, K-Dot.
You 100% right. You took the words out of my mouth because, like I said earlier, how you think those other defensive ends feeling now? Man, I'm not worthy enough. I'm not good enough. No, you're not, because you always hurt for one. Two, you're not better than Clowney. But at the same time, y'all supposed to be, let's develop these players. Let's develop these players. We got to win now. We in the win now.
Yep.
He went to Tennessee because he knew Mike Vrabel was over there. That's his old coach.
Yep.
But you made him do that. If you would have went 2 months ago, 3 months ago, right after the season, we going after Clowney.
You'd have had a better chance to land because Tennessee wasn't even in the fight then. Tennessee wasn't nowhere near that then. They got involved later on in the process. But had they have moved with Clowney and when Everson Griffin was there, if they would have went 1-1-2, they more than likely would have ended up with Everson Griffin. But at least they would have had the ability to have a fallback option instead of having Willoughby as a fallback option who ain't even on the active roster. Absolutely insane.
Every time you say Willoughby, I think of Donnell Ellaby, who was also always hurt when he was playing for it.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's like it's the same old things going on, and we getting these practice squad players. Why? The dude from the Chargers. Why?
Come on, hold.
No reason.
The great. We're getting great value here. We get great value. The great value line from Walmart. That's what we got here. This great value. Nobody don't know these players, not even the damn reporters. The reporters got to go pull up generic pictures of Saints helmets on the field when they write reports about these great value canned good players. Man, come on. These people are not impactful players on the team currently constructed.
We hyped up Marcus Hunt. He not even on the team anymore. Man, Marcus Hunt had one good year in this. He not even on the team anymore. 6'8". Oh man, he's 6'8". He gonna be great. Y'all got rid of him for what? Davenport hurt. You need to sign him back now. Because you surely not going out here being aggressive and signing Clay Matthews and all these other defensive ends that's sitting at home. Ziggy Ansah. You wanted him 2 years ago. What's wrong with now?
Don't want him. They wanted Wilkinson too a couple of years ago. Wilkinson didn't want to come here. And then Robert Quinn was another dude they could have got but passed up on.
Exactly.
And Kelvin,
we can't close deals.
Kelvin 14 says you had no shot at Clowney back then. Dude wanted $20 million a year. He didn't want $20 million when the Cowboys was going after Griffin, going after Everson Griffin. He was asked for 15, 16 then. That wasn't. You got to go You got to go further back then. When Everson Griffin and right before Griffin signed with the Cowboys, Clowney's price wasn't $20 million. It had already dropped to $15 million around there. And that's what, and you could have still got him for that rate. The chances are you would have still had him then. Because I was doing the shows on it watching Clowney about what he wanted because people was constantly asking me about it. And I was saying Griffin is a better bargain than Clowney is, especially for the fact that Griffin tears your ass up every time the Vikings play. You know, you got Cesar Ruiz because of Everson Griffin. Let's get that understood. Because Ruiz is here because of Everson Griffin. And because
Wolford got released because of that.
That's right. Wolford got released because of Everson Griffin and what he was doing to the Saints' interior offensive line. And you see Griffin out there, the same dude you reformat your interior line doing, you don't go and get him? What kind of foolishness are you on? That you need a disruptive, and he's showing you that any person so disruptive that it makes you reshuffle your interior offensive line should be somebody you should be interested in signing. Common sense, isn't it? That is commonsensical, but you don't even look in his direction. We don't need him. We ain't gonna pay $6 million. We won't sign and trade for Clowney for $15, $16 million. It was 16 they was trying to give him, by the way. I hope y'all knew that. They was trying to give him $16 million.
And couldn't close the deal.
Couldn't close the deal. And league says, oh, hell no, you can't do this. You the Saints. We don't like y'all like that. And on top, I mean, come on, man. You going to the league for help? The same league that threw the bounty gate on you and all that? Come on, cut this foolishness out. Every time your players get a little nick or bruise, David Onyemata had ordered a weed box. He ain't even smoked the stuff. And the people drop the charges, they still get them a 1-game suspension. I mean, come on, man. The smallest stuff you get slammed on with it. You know, nothing happened to the Patriots, but you get your issue. But you gonna go to that same league for help? Are you some kind of fool? Yeah. But people understand. Well, Q, we good with Hendrickson. No, you good with Hendrickson because you ain't got no choice. You gonna say that now because you ain't got no choice. You gotta say that. But you wasn't good with Hendrickson a week ago when you was chasing Clowney. So where was your mentality? Why did it change all of a sudden? Well, we ain't get clowned. We good. You selling for Hendrickson, man. We ain't want him then. You ain't want him now. Hendrickson ain't do a damn thing in camp all damn off season. What did he do for you to be all excited about him? He ain't done a damn thing since he been here. I'm keeping it real. I'm telling you the truth. And that's what I'm saying. People are like, well, Q, we ain't get him. Let's just forget. No, I ain't forgetting about nothing. Because the bottom line, it was a reason why they was trying to get him. They knew because Davenport was going to be hurt and that Trey Hendrickson is not the dude that you think he is. He has not lived up to expectations, but you're going to bust out Traquan Smith and call Traquan Smith a bust 8 ways from Tuesday and have a parade, a whole parade saying that Traquan Smith is a bust and Trey Hendrickson's hiding behind that in the third row watching people on the bus parade. He's supposed to be out there front show. He's supposed to be ahead of Traquan Smith because he's a 3rd-round draft pick that ain't done a damn thing since he been here, but get hurt on be on the IR list and sit up there and steal the money. Come on, man.
And they get them from small schools. Why can't you get a defensive end from LSU? Why can't you get somebody from Alabama?
No part of it, bro.
Go get them boys.
No part about it. You got over a dozen LSU players that held the 1st or 2nd round ranking that could have been on the team. You don't end up with none of them. It's because they don't pick
in your backyard.
But they don't pick their apples from Louisiana. They pick their apples from Ohio State. That's what Sean Payton likes to go to do. He picks his apples from all. That's why you got all these Ohio State guys on the team. Because he loves picking his apples from Ohio State. He don't pick his apples from LSU, even though LSU has supreme talent there. Even though they had Jefferson there, who's one of the best wide receivers, even though they had a pretty good developmental tight end that you could have brought in, even though they had really good offensive linemen that you could have brought in, they had good running back that you could have had that fits the Sproles mold, that sets the Saints offense on fire. There are a series of different things, but the man don't pick his apples from down here. He likes picking them everywhere else. And he keeps picking them from somewhere. And he got 2 first-round draft picks that are injured right now. We just going to have to see how it works. But right now, that whole plan with Larry Walton move him out and put Ruiz in there is all looking like a bunch of junk right about now. It really is.
Looking like junk. But I'm going to end it with this.
Yeah.
I just hope that we find a way to win Sunday, because if you got Cam rushing on one side, you're going to need somebody else to get in Brady's face on the other, because they're going to double, triple, whatever Cam. So I hope we win. You know, I love y'all family. Appreciate this show because it's the best show ever. Everybody else be lying about the Saints. We tell the truth over here. I love it.
I appreciate
so I'm going to holler at y'all.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Much love to you, my family. Who that to you?
Who that?
That's K. Savage Gaming, man. Big D, you on the line, my brother?
Yeah, I'm still holding on, Big Q. What's going on?
I'm chilling, my brother. I'm getting a little hot under the collar, bro, because, you know, they think they can just throw you out to anything, Big D. They think they can just sell you, just give you a bologna and tell you a steak up under there. They could just do all kind of stuff and think we just going okay and foolishly do for it, brother. I'm just saying, my brother. Go ahead and speak your mind, brother.
Man, like I said, I'm catching the end of things, man. I had already knew when I saw earlier in the week when Davenport and Ruiz was on the injury list. I said, boy, these boys don't play. I know Q gonna be hot. He gonna be fire hot, and I'm fire hot. I'm mad too, man. You know what I'm saying? But the way I look at it, man, is anytime you draft anybody, it's a gamble. It's a roll of the dice. I don't care how good they look. It's still a gamble. And ultimately, you know what I'm saying, we done been doing good in the regular season these past 3 years. I need you for the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I need you for the playoffs. Damn, we can go 16-0 and still go out in the first round of the playoffs. That's what I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they trying to find somebody to match up with Cam on the other side, man, and just, you know what I'm saying, they kind of striking out. And I don't want to say it's a complete strikeout with Davenport because he's still young, but he is injury prone, and he gotta get that together. There's always an arm or a shoulder or something going on with him. You know what I'm saying? But even when I heard the previous caller, well, not the previous caller, but the guy was talking about we can't put on Drew Brees no more. You know how I feel about Drew Brees. I reckon Drew Brees be gone about 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have Cedric to call up here again on you, Derek.
I wouldn't give a damn because he ain't gonna change my opinion. Because my thing is, Father Time is undefeated, man. Drew Brees was never known for a cannon arm. You know what I'm saying? He has always done his thing because he always overachieved for his size, with his accuracy, with his game preparation, with his mental. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's always overachieved. And I appreciate everything he's done for the city. I've said that 100 times. I appreciate what he's done for the franchise, man. But we can't still live off what Drew Brees was 6 years ago. This is Drew Brees we're working with now. And when I seen Drew try to throw that bomb to that fullback last year, I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just making my point for me. He tried to throw a bomb to the fullback in a game last year. I forgot what game it was, man. But we just got to see what happened, man, with that clowning stuff. I never thought we was gonna get clowning. I knew something was gonna happen. I can kind of appreciate the finesse they tried to use, trying to get him. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't think the clowning stuff was gonna go on. He wanted $15 million. They said he really didn't want to go to nobody training camp. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to kind of get signed toward the end. But the Everson Griffin, yeah, they really could have got the Everson Griffin. I'm up here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something else I got to look at with seeing them over there.
Right.
But I mean, they had a couple of good drafts, like you said. Trey Henderson. Trey Henderson is definitely not it, man. I'm more want to see what Carl Granderson gonna do. I think Carl Granderson gonna surprise us, but I do hate not having Davenport for this game. I hate not having Ruiz for this game because you know what I'm saying, what they gonna do? You gonna put McCoy back at center, then put Easton. You know what I'm saying, over there, man. It's just I don't know. We got to see how it's gonna roll, man.
Right. I mean, I'm with you, D, and I appreciate that. That's great sentiment, bro. I'm also a fan of Granderson as well. I think Granderson, he gained that weight. He looks good, man. He's always had that speed. He always had that speed component, and he was flashing in camp. You know, he had a full camp. You know, he have to deal with none of the legal issues. He was clear of that, so he didn't have that hanging over him. He had no distractions, so he could focus on football. Well, you know, he had the C-19 stuff, but everybody have to deal with that. But Granderson, man, to me, he looks more like the guy that I can get excited about at the defensive end position. I wish he was starting, man, to be honest with you, you know, this game as opposed to Trey Hendrickson. But Sean Payton's going to go with Hendrickson because he's most familiar with him. And Henderson has been here a little longer than Carl Granderson has. But I just, you know.
I think Carl Granderson probably, he really see he didn't got a second chance because the man was in jail on a humbug. They were trying to mess over him. You know, he got out of that and he got a chance, and he in the NFL he got a chance. I think he's gonna put a lot of effort to try to make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely not confident in Trey on that side. But I think these first games gonna be more like a preseason game anyway, because Houston looked terrible yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
They did. They didn't look good at all. Kansas City looked like they never stopped playing, man. They had a few flubs here or there, but they were rolling, man.
Man, Clyde looked like he fit them so perfectly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does. He looked terrific.
Man, he looked better than Westbrook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what Andy Reid had, what he used to do with Westbrook, man. Clyde is way better than Westbrook, if you ask me.
That's a great comparison.
You know he's short. He's like a bowling ball. He that same kind of frame, man. That boy had 25 carries for 138 yards. You know what I'm saying?
He was pretty. He was awesome, man. He was awesome.
He was looking good. I want to see what our tight ends do this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think this game is gonna be more like a preseason game anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I hate to see. I don't think we're gonna have issues with Ruiz because he's not injury prone. It's just that Davenport. They spent so much to try to get him, but they spent that because they know that's what they needed, and they've been striking out. You know what I'm saying? You had Okafor. You know what I'm saying? He left and he was injury prone. They never really found nobody. They never really found nobody to fill their side.
Yeah, and that's a shame. You had an opportunity this year, and you had selection. You have a palette of different pass rushers. that you could address that fell to you at cheaper rates. And I have to keep going it because this was the offseason in which Everson Griffin switched teams. Robert Quinn, which they didn't have a shot at Robert Quinn. Chicago took him out the gate. I would have loved to have had him down here. But Everson Griffin for $6 million to Dallas was just what the Saints need. That would have left them a couple of million on the cap. If they had to refit Nick Easton's contract, which they've been supposed to have done, that would have freed them up so much money if they needed it. And then if you look at what happened with Yannick Ngakoue, these are two really impactful defensive end people that switch sides. I mean, and both of them went to rivals of yours in the NFC. The Jaguars brung in one of the AFC's fiercest pass rushers to replace Everson Griffin, and Yannick Ngakoue for a second-round draft pick. I mean, that was ridiculous. And then, of course, Griffin, who used to be with the Vikings, settled with your other rival, Dallas. And then also they still have DeMarcus Lawrence there. Randy Gregory is there. And that other kid they got out there. So I mean, listen, man, the trend is, and I keep saying this to people who don't understand what I'm saying about pass rushing. Pass rushing. I'm overemphasizing it because it's imperative. This is so important. When you have really good pass rushing, it can cover up a lot of faults in your secondary. It really can. And, in mistakes, period. It can make a defense that's really above normal look really, really spectacular. When the defensive linemen are firing off the edges, and not only are they firing off the edges, but they're consistently beating the 4-on-5 matchup. If you have your 4 linemen and they're constantly beating the 5 offensive linemen, you can drop everybody else into coverage and cover up those passing lanes and have a ball. That's when defenses really thrive. The San Francisco 49ers, who are another one of your rivals, understand how important it is to have multiple pass rushers. They not only have Bosa and Armstead, but they also have D Ford, who was a starting pass rusher, who's pretty. All right, family, we back up. I apologize, man. We had our internet dropped out on us for whatever reason. It dropped out. So I thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for joining us back in the live stream, man. Thank y'all for being patient and waiting for us as we got things back up and running again. So much love to the family members again for that. If you was dealing with some issues with it, sorry, Big D. Derek Summerfield, he was calling at the time. It chopped off on him, so I appreciate D for calling as well. So I apologize. Everything okay? Audio's under. Okay, good. Thank you, family. Appreciate y'all, man, for chiming in. Sorry about that internet dropping out on y'all as well. So we back at it, and I appreciate the family members for still remaining in the chat, man, as we still get back at it again. But man, terrific calls, man, all the way around, man. Terrific calls all the way around. Big ups to the family members, man. Big ups to the family members for some terrific calls today. Now, just a little programming note to the family members as I'm about to shut the stream down. I just wanted to come back just to thank you guys for having a great show. I like to thank all of the callers, man. We had great calls. Brother Cedric, who called twice. I appreciate his passion. Big ups to Brother Cedric. Brother Freddie, always good to hear from Brother Freddie. David from Dallas, good to hear from you, David, as well. Appreciate your family. Big Rob, always dropping the jewels. Big up, Big Rob, appreciate that, family. Good commentary. The Professor Ernest calling. Going to send our prayers and blessings to Professor Ernest too as well. Scoob, our brother Scoob, having some issues family-wise with his mother passing. I continue to ask the family members to keep Scoob to make sure we keep Scoob in our prayers, but also Brother Ernest as well. A lot of our family members out there going through a lot of difficulty in life right now. It's a lot, the C-19 stuff, and all this type of stuff. And more time than not, there are a lot of evil forces out there. Listen, family, not a religious man. I'm a real man. I'm a realist man. Not a religious man, but I'm a realist man. And I came from a family of deacons and ministers and missionaries, and like my mother and them, deeply religious people. So, and kind of on my father's side, more secular. But the reality is that those two lessons in life taught me to keep it real. And in reality, man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff going on in this world that is leaning toward the bad side of things. And this is when us as a family need to come together. I don't care what color you are, where you from, that does not matter. We need to be all on one heart and one mind, meaning for the benefit of us all as a whole. And the reason why I approach you like that, as opposed to coming at you in a sectionalized way, is because it's only in that mind, that mentality, which we'll be able to gain liberation from what's going on in this world. And I just want to say that. But for people like Brother Ernest and for Scoob, much love to them family members, and for all of our family members who's out there that's going through some trouble or some turbulence in their life right now, that need that extra blessing word. Let's shoot that empowerment, that spiritual and that empowerment to those people, so they can use that to get them in a more empowering place. That's what I'm about. I'm about empowerment, man. I'm about everybody being the best they can be and living their best life. That's what I'm about. That's what I care about. That's what I'm real about. And I do understand that unless we gonna get there, we get there together, or we ain't gonna get there at all. Because they got people at the top who are straight up ravening Satanists, and all they care about is separating and dividing the people, using their angst amongst them and using it against them so they can keep manipulating and controlling. I mean, I'm see straight up lying stuff going on. I mean, I've seen reports from both sides, from the big media operations, just straight up lying on it, just a bunch of lying ass dogs, just straight lying, psychological lying, just lying. And they got real stuff out there. You can research it, where they just put out nothing but a mass of just a bunch of lying, bunch of stuff to confuse the people. Don't fall for nothing that. Turn all that mess off. Turn that stuff off, and don't believe nothing them bastards say. Excuse me. But anyway, big ups to the family members still on the live stream. Brock Pace, I see your family. Sister Tyra, good to see you too, baby. Who that to you as well? My dog Crass, who that to you, Crass? Jose, I see you. Jose Calderon, big ups to your brother Gundam. I see you as well. He says, Scoob, does Scoob have an email address? Big Q, I'd like to reach out to the brother. My dad passed 2 months ago. Okay, Gundam. I'm gonna have to see. I don't know if he has an email. I don't think I'm gonna have to check and see if I got his email address before long. I don't know if I have it on me right now. That's the thing. But I don't know. But like I said, man, it's just hard, man. A lot of people having it difficult right now. Not everybody in a terrific place. Right now people having a little turbulence in their life. Some a little bit more than more. You get me? But anyway, I got a family member on the phone line. This will be the last call of the night, family. We might come back tomorrow for a Saturday show. Usually I'll think about it. We'll see how it goes. But thank you, family, for calling this great Saint Think Tank. Who's on the line? Hello? Are you still on the line? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? All right. I can't hear you, family, if you're on here. One more time. Can you hear me? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Are you on the line? All right. That'll be the last call for the night, family. I just wanted to stay on and to talk to the family members. Appreciate y'all and y'all. Big shout out. Nola Balls, I see your family. Who that to you as well. K Dot says, please have a Sunday show. Yes, we will, K Dot. We will do what's called the TSC virtual tailgate. That'll be 2 hours before the actual game, which will make it at 1 o'clock Central Time. Okay, so we'll definitely do a Sunday show, and what we're going to do on it might start it up for 12, man. I think I might do it for 12, and it'll lead right up until the 3 o'clock, the 3 o'clock time slot for the game. But I started at 12 on Sunday because it'll give plenty enough time for the family members to call in, to chime in with their predictions, what they think's going to happen in the game. And I know a lot of family members are going to be throwing down. Who that to your family? Thank y'all. Shedrick, brother Shedrick, I see you. Good to see you there, brother Shedrick. JT and the rest of the family members as well. Okay, K Dot say he'll be in the building. Thank you, K Dot. Appreciate you. But to let the family members know as well is that Yeah, we're going to do it and probably fire it up for 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock Sunday. The TSC virtual tailgate. And it won't look the same as what you see. It'll be a different format in which we'll have it where you can see the family members and they can be able to show what they're cooking and who's, and the family members at the games. And it's the TSC virtual tailgate. And then after the game, we'll come back with the post game, the TSC post game report, breaking down the Saints win over the Buccaneers too. So it'll be a fantastic Sunday, man. So I know the family members gonna be cooking brown rice and barbecue chicken and all the good fixings because it's gonna be a celebration Sunday because we have football again. So it's gonna be awesome Sunday as well. So it's gonna be groovy. It's gonna be great. But I like to thank all the family members for chiming in on this edition of the show. As Paul get ready to leave, I like to run our commercials and let the family members know that if you really want to help the platform and you like what we're doing here, feel free to go on down to the description section and locate the 2 links that's labeled merch. That's our merchandise is there, and there are over 50 different designs, man. Listen, and I'm not bull crapping you. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, hundreds of products are available in the Pro Shop. I mean, the Pro Shop has been up for a while now, and I'm constantly adding to it. Our designers are constantly adding to it. So there's coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases, keychains, stuff for your dog, sweaters, hoodies, hats, all kind of shirt. It's so much. There's towels, wall art, all kind of stuff. I mean, literally hundreds of products are available in the Pro Shop. This is some of them. Face coverings, masks. Man, we got it all, man. Whatever you need. If you really want to support the platform, you can feel free to go. And I'm telling you, go to the Pro Shop and pick up on some stuff. Buy something from your girl or whatnot. And listen, you can't be last minute like the Saints was and go shop at Walmart in Walgreens for your anniversary. Don't do it. She gonna know the difference. You can't go to Walgreens after you got off of work because you forgot it was the anniversary. You can't do that. She can tell the difference between that Walgreens candy and something that you actually picked up from a store that specializes in it. Don't do it. But anyway, feel free to check out the merch, man. We got it there for any and everybody. We got all kind of new designs and stuff available, including, don't burn the beans. That's one of my favorite sayings is don't burn the beans, which means don't screw it up. So you can check out that. We got all kind of gear, man. All type of little colorful gear, and that's don't burn the beans. Take it personal, which is my personal mantra that I given to the Saints over this season, is to take it personal over the last 2 years of playoff Three Stooges style football in the playoffs. Take it personal this year and bring home a championship to the city, to the region, to the people, to the fam base, not the fan base, but the fam, as in family base. We deserve it, man. Okay, feel free to check out and like I said, this is a brief thing, but designs in all colors and sizes for women, men, and children are available. Onesies, sweaters, as you can see. I mean, hundreds of, literally, I ain't playing with you. It's literally hundreds and dozens of products are available at them Pro Shops, keeping it real. Okay, and also Pro Radio. If you guys like to listen to the show, we have other shows that we do, not just the Sports Coma, but we also have other platforms that we do as well. The Pelican Post-Game Report for people who love the New Orleans Pelicans. If you love the Pelicans, we love them too. We're just as passionate too. You can listen to the Pelican Post-Game Report on Pro Radio, or you can look up for the channel on YouTube. Ring Kings Boxing World and LSU Tough Tiger Talk podcasts are available via Pro Media Networks Pro Radio. The link is in the description section below for more information. And also to become, if you like the show and you want to do more, sign up and become a patron of the show. Signing up comes with perks, as you will get access to TSC Q&A Live. It's a show that we do Tuesday nights that don't get aired to the rest of the shows, exclusively for our Patreon and YouTube members. And also On Q with Big Q, which is another show that we do which is exclusively for Patreon, which we talk about that real deal Holyfield. Like I touch upon it a little bit, but if you really want to know, you got to go over there to On Cue with Big Q. I think they got like 12 episodes up of it already, and we constantly adding to it every week. There will be a show, a new On Cue with Big Q, released tomorrow night on Patreon for our family members that have been waiting for another On Cue with Big Q. Part 2 of the series will be released tomorrow night, so be looking out for that. And also, we'll be doing an On Cue with Big Q live show. So it'll be about 2 or 3 hours live. You can get on there. You can ask questions. Be looking out for that as well. So the On Cue with Big Q will be released tomorrow night on Patreon, just to let our family members know that have been asking about the next installment, the new volume of it. And of course, big ups to our Patreon family. To our Patreon and YouTube members. And this is for our sponsor. The show has a sponsor. And if you have a business, family, and this is talking to the business owners out there who have a business or a service that they want to get out to hundreds or thousands of family members who are passionate Saints fans, Pelican fans, passionate people, period, you can also inquire about having your business as a sponsor of the Sports Coma. GetLifeMask.com is a local business, and they specialize in selling masks. They have a great mask. They have the filter in it that slides behind the nose clip. You can go to GetLifeMask.com, Get Life Mask, and breathe easy. You can breathe even easier in your wallet with this code, the product code, The Sports Coma, all lowercase letters, knocks 10% off on the price of the mask. And then, of course, finally, I want to give a lot of shout out to our family members that signed up last weekend for the Sports Coma Football Fantasy League. Is in full effect. We had a few people in this weekend we'll be doing it. So I'd like to give an extra shout out to the family members that already signed up for the Sports Coma Fantasy League. It's in effect. So if you missed it, you're going to have to wait next year, family. But thank you to all the family members that were a part of it. I just want to give a shout out to them as well. And once again, thank you for all the beautiful Black and Gold family members for tuning into this installment of the Sports Coma, entitled Davenport and Ruiz out for week 1 and more. We took some really great calls today. We might be back tomorrow. So if you are a person that hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. If you hadn't hit your notification button, you need to hit it too, because we might fire up a show tomorrow or might not. It depends. It really depends. So just be looking out and we'll see what goes from there. But no doubt about it, the TSC virtual tailgate will be happening, and we'll start it at 12 o'clock this next Sunday here, because the game is for 3:25. I say we'll start it for 12. We'll cut it off at 3. And listen, you can drop your scores, your predictions on the game, your insight on the game. And not only that, but you can also, whatever you're cooking on, show us what you're cooking on. Show the rest of the Great Saint Think Tank and the Who Dat Nation what you're cooking on. We'll be live in effect for the virtual tailgate at 12 o'clock on Sunday. And then stick with us after the game, because we'll do a wrap-up post report of the Saints game here on the Sports Coma as well. So I invite all y'all to join us for that, as we'll have interviews from the coaches and players after the game is over with. We'll play them live here. We'll open up the phone lines. We'll break down some stuff as well. And we might have a few personalities join. Might have Black Suede or DC and the rest of the guys might pop up for that really good affair as we start the Saints season right with the TSC virtual tailgate. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful family members for joining in. Please smash upon the like button. Thank you for that. I also want you guys to help out by taking a link and supporting it and put it in your social media, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, or Facebook groups, or Saints groups, wherever. Feel free to liberally take the link and share it wherever you please. Feel free to go to the Pro Shop and buy something that helps out the stream, or simply become a YouTube member or join our Patreon. Those things help out. They make the platform strong. And as you can tell, the family ratcheted up its support twice. And what that did was, it says, okay, the family got behind my back. Notice how I started doing shows daily, as opposed to what it really was. I just started doing them daily because the family members' support took me up to that level. And every time you do that, I meet your love with love. So I just want to let you know, as long as you are in the building, support me and doing like what you're doing, I will forever be there. I will forever be there, and I won't let you down. I'll be there, and I've showed you that constantly, that I will be there for the family members, and I will represent, and I will keep it real, and I will continue to be who we are and what we are, and that's 100% passionate, real deal, Saint talk, straight up. So thank you guys for tuning today on this show, and I'm going to see you guys later. Hit your notifications bells. I don't know if I'm coming at you tomorrow on TSC. I think the TSC Saturday Saint Talk, we'll see how it goes, family. We'll see. But hit the notification bell, and I'll see y'all later. Much love to y'all, and I'm out. Who that?
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. #1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with